Chapter 200. Han Chushue was slightly moved. After so many years, not to mention demonic beasts, the number of people who had died in her hands was not small. Many of the people she knew had also died in the hands of demonic beasts. But for Han Chushue, that person was the only one who had died for her. This made Han Chushue unable to accept this fact. Perhaps it was because she felt that because of her mistake, she caused the death of an innocent person, yet she was still dragging out an ignoble existence. She couldn't accept this feeling. "I'm done eating." Han Chushue put down her chopsticks. "You should have an end to this, right? You're Han Chushue. I really don't understand how such a thing can change your mentality." Ling Ying was really angered by Han Chushue's words. I'll go back and think about it. You should rest early." "Stop." Ling Ying shouted at Han Chushue and said, "This time it's your turn to wash the dishes." Then Han Chushue went to the kitchen to wash the dishes, while Ling Ying sat on the sofa angrily. "Okay, I'll go back first." "Go back and think about it." "Anyway, I can't leave. Tianhua City is one more day of my strength. Either I die in battle, or Tianhua City completely falls. I can only go back. But before Tianhua City falls, I can't leave." Ling Ying said to Han Chushue word by word. "I know, I'll go back first." After saying that, Han Chushue left. Ling Ying rubbed his temples. He never thought that one day, Han Chushue would become like this. Perhaps the colder a person was on the surface, the more fragile their heart was. Lin Xian opened the door and walked out. "I'm suffocating." Lin Xian took a deep breath. He didn't have to stay in the wardrobe, but he was afraid that Han Chushue would go into Ling Ying's room for no reason. At that time, whether he could make it in time or not, he would definitely make a lot of noise when he rushed into the wardrobe. At that time, he would definitely be discovered, so he stayed inside and didn't come out. But it wasn't a big deal. Being able to stay in that kind of treasure land was also a kind of happiness. Ling Ying glanced at Lin Xian before turning his head away. "What's wrong? You look so glum." Lin Xian walked over and pulled Ling Ying into his embrace. Ling Ying didn't struggle and leaned into Lin Xian's embrace. "Didn't you hear it from inside?" Ling Ying asked. "At first, I heard it. Later on, I focused on my work and didn't really listen." Ling Ying was slightly taken aback. What could he focus on in there? Then she remembered that it was her wardrobe. "Pervert. What did you do?" Ling Ying gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. "Guess." Lin Xian grinned. Ling Ying had read a lot of novels. Some perverted men like to hit a girl's underwear. This Lin Xian shouldn't be that perverted, right? "Get lost." Ling Ying rolled her eyes in annoyance. "Say it. What made you so angry? Are you still angry with Han Chushue? Could it be that they are sisters on the surface? I'm so angry." Ling Ying took a deep breath. Then he said, "It's something I told you before. Han Chushue was saved by a man in the beast domain. That man died. Just like that, she has fallen to the point that she doesn't go to the beast domain to improve herself. Now that Tianhua City is in danger, she even wants to run away." Lin Xian was also stunned. "It's that serious? Han Chushue should be the kind of cultivation maniac. How could one person change her to the point of giving up her original heart?" Ling Ying sighed and shook her head. "I never thought that it would have such a big impact. I thought that she would forget about it after resting for a while, but it's getting worse. I really don't understand what she's thinking. She fell in love with that person, right?" Lin Xian asked. Ling Ying shook her head. "I'm not sure. Normally, it's impossible for her to fall in love with someone. Han Chushue wouldn't fall in love with someone who was more outstanding and powerful than her. But that person was very weak, and it affected Han Chushue too much. It was as if she changed into a different person. So maybe the colder a person is, the more fragile her heart is. A person sacrificed himself to save her when she was at her most desperate and helpless. This sacrifice completely changed the nature of Han Chushue's heart. Lin Xian said. But that's not a solution. I really can't think of a way to get her back. The key person is already dead, so it's useless to think of any other methods unless she can figure it out herself. But she can't. The more time passes, the more this matter will ferment in her heart. The person who died for her will become more perfect in her heart, and the greater the impact on her. Ling Ying said helplessly. Lin Xian sighed and said, You women are so arrogant, but why are your hearts so fragile? That's too much of a blow. It's her, Han Chuxue. No, normal people wouldn't be like this. Maybe I'm not her. Maybe if I went through the same thing, I would be like this too? No, definitely not. Even if you died, I wouldn't be sad. Lin Xian, I think you need the sun. Lin Xian said with a smirk. Sun? What's that? F***ck. Ling Ying. F***ck off. Pervert. Ha ha ha, don't think about it. The key is that you didn't let me out tonight. If you let me out, then wouldn't Han Chuxue like me? Naturally, she would forget about that guy. Lin Xian laughed. You. I don't know where you got the confidence to say something like that. Fiske. Ling Ying rolled his eyes. I don't care. That's not important right now. What's important is what you promised me. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Ying's little face turned red. No way. I told you to leave, but you didn't do it. You're still at home, so you didn't complete what you promised. So no. Ling Ying had a very reasonable look on his face. This was King woman. No, what you mean is that I didn't come out and let Han Chuxue see me. I did that. So that means I completed it. So, you have to fulfill your promise too. Ling Ying proudly raised her little head and said, I'm not in the mood, thank you. Really? You're not afraid of me? Lin Xian's lips curled into a sinister smile. Ling Ying shuddered at the sight of Lin Xian's sinister smile. Oh, this bastard. You're indeed in a special period now, but after your special period, if you don't fulfill your promise, I have plenty of ways to punish you. Lin Xian smiled and looked at Ling Ying. Lin Xian, you bastard. Ling Ying pointed at Lin Xian. She really couldn't think of anything to say. No, it wasn't that she couldn't think, but that she didn't dare to say it. She, the great Ling Ying, was actually subdued by Lin Xian. Chapter 201. After a few seconds, Ling Ying took a deep breath and let out a sigh. But if I don't like it, then I'll stop. If you like lollipops, then you'll like it. F***ck off. Bastard. Ling Ying kicked Lin Xian's leg angrily and entered the room angrily. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian laughed out loud and walked in as well. After taking a shower in Ling Ying's bathroom, it was time for what he had been dreaming of. The next morning, Ling Ying and Lin Xian were both awakened by a knock on the door. Oh! Ling Ying rubbed her sleepy eyes and sat up. Other than Han Chuxue, who else would come looking for you? Lin Xian asked curiously. Ling Ying yawned and said indifferently, Very few, but it's possible. After saying that, she put on her cute pink slippers and walked out to open the door. Lin Xian stretched comfortably. Last night was really a happy night. In the beginning, Ling Ying was not used to it, but in the end, she persevered. Lin Xian was very satisfied with the completion rate. This Ling Ying was completely conquered by him. Lin Xian was also very happy. Ling Ying was also the kind of girl that would make many men feel ashamed regardless of appearance, temperament, or even background. However, this kind of girl was conquered by Lin Xian. This was really super satisfying. At the same time, Lin Xian was also very touched. Ling Ying was really unwilling. She could completely ignore Lin Xian and even break up with him, but she had never been bullied by Lin Xian to this extent. She even gave up her self-esteem for Lin Xian. This was indeed very touching. Ling Ying yawned and opened the door. At first glance, she didn't care, but at second glance, her whole body tensed up. The next moment, she swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Ma. Ma. Why are you here? Ling Ying opened her beautiful eyes wide and stammered. In front of him was a young woman who looked quite similar to Ling Ying. She was Ling Ying's mother, Qin Lan. She was so young that when she stood next to Ling Ying, people would think that they were sisters instead of mother and daughter. This was also because of her natural beauty and good maintenance. The most important point was that Qin Lan was definitely a martial artist, and her level was not too low. This caused her to age very slowly. Many people in their 50s or 60s looked like they were in their 20s or 30s. This was because of their high strength. On the other hand, Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat when he heard Ling Ying's words. F***ck? Mother-in-law is here? But why do I feel like I'm going to be caught in bed? His first reaction was to run. Perhaps it was because this was the first time he had encountered such a situation, but Lin Xian really panicked. He immediately hid in the wardrobe. He had thought of using the space attribute to do a 100-meter space jump, but F***ck, he was only wearing underwear. If he went out like this, wouldn't he become a social celebrity? Qin Lan was an expert. Even the slightest movement from Ling Ying's room was noticed by her. At that moment, her eyebrows twitched slightly. As a mother, she thought of something and walked in indifferently as if she hadn't noticed anything. What's wrong? Is there a need to be so flustered when you see your mother? Did you do something bad? No, how could that be? Don't you know how obedient and cute your daughter is? How could she do something bad? Ling Ying bitterly smiled and looked into the room. She didn't see Lin Xian's figure anymore. She let out a sigh of relief, but then she suddenly realized that her mother was a mysterious heaven realm expert who was close to the lightning tribulation realm. Even if Lin Xian turned over on the bed, she might be able to hear it. It's over, it's over, it's over. The first thing Qin Lan did was to walk towards Ling Ying's room. Mommy, Mother Empress. Ling Ying chased after her in a panic. This was how Ling Ying was used to addressing his mother. He liked to call Qin Lan Mother Empress and often called her a mother, depending on the situation. However, it was precisely because they had a good relationship that he called her that. It's nothing. I'm just a little tired from running around. Sit on my good daughter's bed for a while. Go get me a glass of water. Qin Lan sat on the edge of the bed and said with a smile. Oh. Ling Ying subconsciously glanced at the wardrobe and then went out to get Qin Lan a glass of water. Qin Lan was a shrewd person. She could tell if there were any traces of a man sleeping on the bed just now. Perhaps this was a little exaggerated, but she could naturally tell if there were 1 or 2 people sleeping here. She was sure that there were 2 people sleeping here, but she was a little nervous. Could it be a woman? Then, her gaze fell on the wardrobe. Ling Ying hurried in and said, "Dear Mother Empress, here's your water." Qin Lan took the water and then looked at Ling Ying with a smile. Ling Ying felt goosebumps all over her body. Mom, why are you here? Why didn't you tell me in advance? Qin Lan drank a mouthful of water and patted Ling Ying's little hand with her other hand. She said, "You asked the servants at home to send a space ring, so Mom sent it for you. I haven't seen you for half a year and missed you very much. I also wanted to give you a surprise. I didn't expect that you would give Mom a bigger surprise." What surprise? Ling Ying stammered. Hearing Qin Lan's words, with Ling Ying's intelligence, he could basically guess what she already knew. Lin Xian was now completely dumbfounded. What was going on? Could he actually go out to meet her or not? He didn't want to leave with a space jump. That would be so embarrassing. Aya, my good daughter has grown up. There are some things that you keep secret from your dearest mommy. How sad. No. It's nothing, Ling Ying hurriedly said. At this time, she was just like a little girl. Then when are you going to find a boyfriend? Mom has been waiting at home every day, waiting for you to find a boyfriend to come home. Soon. Ling Ying stammered. Qin Lan tidied Ling Ying's hair and said earnestly, Mom will panic if you don't find a boyfriend for a day. Mom, why are you panicking? How old am I? There's no rush. It's not like your daughter isn't pretty. That's why I'm panicking. Your old man thinks that you don't like men. Lin Xian. Really? Lin Xian almost laughed out loud. Damn. Mom. What are you saying? Ling Ying said coquettishly. Mom didn't believe it at first, but it's been 23 years. Don't talk about a boyfriend, you don't even have a decent male friend. You only talk about Han Chuxue all the time. Mom thinks that you like her. Ling Ying. Mom. I really don't have one. Ling Ying was about to cry from laughing. Her parents actually thought that she was a lesbian. Oh my God. Really? Yes, and I have a boyfriend. It's just that I didn't tell you. Ling Ying whispered. Chapter 202. When Qin Lan heard Ling Ying's words, she couldn't help but laugh. Why didn't you tell Mom? This is a good thing. It's my dad. You know how he is. He can't wait for me to get married. What should I say? Ling Ying said coquettishly. That old man, don't worry about him. Then, Qin Lan touched Ling Ying's little hand and said earnestly, the most uncomfortable thing for a father in this world at this time is to put his daughter's hand in another man's hand. He can't bear to let her go. Daughters are the treasures of fathers. Which father doesn't want to be his daughter's support for the rest of her life? However, his daughter will definitely get married. It's not that your father doesn't want you to get married, but he can't bear to let you go. I know. But you're not young anymore. When I was your age, I already had you. Mom is waiting to hold a grandson. Then you can bear to let me get married. Qin Lan smiled and said, I can't bear to, but a grandson is more important than you. Ling Ying, you're indeed my biological mother. So, the one in the closet, come out. Don't be afraid. If you're Han Chuxue, then pretend I didn't say anything. If you come out, I don't want to accept this reality, Qin Lan said to the closet. Lin Xian, Ling Ying, Mom, you already know. Qin Lan smiled helplessly and said, I can still hear the sound of the closet opening and closing. Lin Xian was also helpless. He was so flustered that he forgot to use the space attribute to enter the closet. It was very awkward. As long as it's not Han Chuxue, Mom can accept it. Ling Ying, I already said I'm not that. Ling Ying said coquettishly. So you have to let Mom see if it's a man or a woman inside. Only then can Mom be sure. Ling Ying blushed and muttered softly, don't you think it's embarrassing? Qin Lan was stunned by her daughter's question. Embarrassing? Why should I be embarrassed? Because your daughter spent the night with someone else before she got married. Qin Lan rubbed Ling Ying's hair with a smile and said, What era are we in now? If you like someone, as long as that person isn't a shady person, why wouldn't I support you? However, after hearing Ling Ying's words, Qin Lan was relieved. At least it meant that there was a man inside. That's great. She was most afraid that she wouldn't even be a man by then. That would be super awkward. Lin Xian also heaved a sigh of relief. This mother-in-law was pretty good. That's good. But I remember that this is a special period for you, right? Ling Ying blushed. No, nothing. Qin Lan smiled dotingly. Then Ling Ying walked to the wardrobe and whispered, Well, you have to be prepared. What do I need to prepare? Qin Lan was stunned. Because I might be disappointed. Lin Xian. Damn it. Wasn't this too hurtful? In any case, Lin Xian remembered this sentence. When the time came, he would definitely make Ling Ying cry. Qin Lan was stunned and then secretly shook her head. She thought that Ling Ying might think that she had high standards for a son-in-law. But in fact, she didn't care. As long as Ling Ying liked her and treated her well, she felt that was enough. However, Ling Ying's standards were very high. Then, Lin Xian took the initiative to open the door, but only his head popped out. Hey auntie, hello. Lin Xian smiled awkwardly. Qin Lan, Ling Ying. Lin Xian was also helpless. He couldn't possibly stand in front of Qin Lan in his underwear. That would be impolite. Moreover, damn it, it was the first time they met in such an awkward manner. He really couldn't stand it. Fortunately, Lin Xian was thick-skinned. It was also fortunate that Ling Ying's mother was more open-minded. Not bad. You're quite a handsome young man. Why are you so shy? Qin Lan looked at Lin Xian and said, "That. I only have a pair of underwear." Qin Lan, all right. I'll excuse myself. Sorry for disturbing you. Then Qin Lan walked out. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian and chased after her. Lin Xian helplessly walked out to put on his clothes. Mom, is it really okay? Qin Lan looked at Ling Ying and asked, Little Ying, in my eyes, you have very high standards, right? Is there anything special about this child that makes you like him? Something special. Ling Ying thought for a moment. She didn't know either. She had been fooled by Lin Xian for no reason. No, he had forcefully fooled her. If you ask me, I think he's very talented. Moreover, he's a good person. Tell me about it. When Qin Lan first saw Lin Xian, she did not see anything special about him. Based on her daughter's standards, many outstanding young masters had gone to her house to propose marriage. However, Ling Ying did not even spare them a glance. She did not expect her daughter to end up in the hands of an ordinary-looking young man. To be honest, if Lin Xian was just an ordinary person, Qin Lan would not believe it. There must be something special about him that caught her daughter's attention. He has lightning and space dual attributes, Ling Ying said. Although Ling Ying knew Lin Xian could not use the space attribute for the time being, he still said it out loud for fear that Qin Lan would be dissatisfied. What? Space attribute? Qin Lan was also slightly surprised. No matter which clan or force it was, no matter how powerful they were, they would not ignore a person with a space attribute, especially a person with dual attributes. Yes, he's the young man who saved everyone when the Sky Martial Court went out to train. I see. I'm my daughter. My taste can't be bad. Qin Lan smiled. She felt much better now. Her daughter's boyfriend was a young man with great attainments in the space attribute. She, Qin Lan, was very satisfied. Moreover, the young man had chosen to stay behind to save the others. This matter was widely spread and was talked about by many people. Everyone said that there was such a young man in Tianhua City. Qin Lan naturally knew about it because it was related to her daughter. She did not expect the young man to be her daughter's boyfriend. No wonder she heard that the young man had stayed behind alone. Later on, her daughter went there alone. It turned out that they had such a relationship. Everything made sense now. Not bad. I'm quite satisfied with this child. I just want to see how your father's family background is. Mom, didn't you say you don't care about the man's family background? Ling Ying pouted. I don't care, but your father doesn't want you to get married for the time being. When the time comes, he will definitely think of ways to make things difficult for him. There are so many outstanding people in Tiandu who went to the Ling family to propose marriage. Tell me, won't your father make things difficult for your boyfriend? Chapter 203. Hearing this, Ling Ying felt a headache coming on. Her father wasn't a materialistic person, but because he couldn't bear to let Ling Ying get married, it was normal for him to make things difficult for her. At the very least, he had to be satisfied. But Lin Xian, with his space attribute, it really wasn't enough to satisfy her father. In addition, among the young talents in Tiandu, there were also people who had space attributes. In comparison, Lin Xian didn't have any outstanding points, so... Anyway, I'm not getting married, and I'm not bringing Lin Xian home. He can't make things difficult for me, even if he wants to. Qin Lan tapped Ling Ying's forehead and said helplessly, You're still too young. At this time, Lin Xian put on his clothes and walked out. F***ck. Meeting his mother-in-law in such an awkward situation, Lin Xian couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed. Hello, Auntie. Lin Xian shouted again. No. He couldn't be too reserved. If he was too reserved, it would make people think that he, Lin Xian, hadn't seen the world. Little Xian, right? Come, sit down and chat with Auntie. Okay. Then Lin Xian sat next to Qin Lon. Auntie, there's something I want to ask. Lin Xian scratched his head and asked. Ask. Why did you and Ling Ying go shopping together? Will people mistake you for sisters? Qin Lon was stunned. Then she couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha, there really are, and there are a lot of them. Ling Ying rolled his eyes. Pay. Bootlicker. Qin Lon was so happy to hear it. Even if she was Ling Ying's mother, she still liked to hear such words. Lin Xian smiled and said, if I didn't hear the conversation between Auntie and Ling Ying in the closet, the first thing I would say when I see you would be sister. Ha ha ha. Qin Lon was amused by Lin Xian and laughed happily. Oh my God. Why is this guy such a bootlicker? Shameless. However, this was not an exaggeration. When Qin Lon and Ling Ying stood together, they really looked like sisters. Qin Lon also felt that it was a little strange. At first, she thought that Lin Xian was a very shy boy, but after hearing his proactive words, Qin Lon suddenly felt that this Lin Xian wasn't the kind of person who couldn't see the world. This was because Qin Lon felt that Lin Xian was very relaxed. The more he acted this way, the more Qin Lon liked him. Tell me, how did you two confirm your relationship? Qin Lon curiously asked Lin Xian. Asking Lin Xian was much more interesting than asking Ling Ying. Mom, you haven't had breakfast yet, right? Why don't we have breakfast together? Ling Ying giggled and acted like a spoiled child. Sure, I'll chat with little Xian. Little Ying, go make us breakfast. Qin Lon said. Ling Ying. Oh. Then, she glared at Lin Xian and walked away. At this time, Lin Xian said with a smile, speaking of how we got together, there wasn't that much of a process. In fact, I liked her and then tried my best to woo her. Maybe after a long time, I slowly moved her. Ling Ying. Woo your sister. You still want to woo her? When did you woo her? F***ck. That's true. Although my little Ying has high standards, she's actually very soft-hearted. If it weren't for the fact that those young masters didn't have so many opportunities to interact with her, she might have been deceived by someone. Lin Xian nodded. That's true. Although Ling Ying is beautiful, naive, and clever, compared to you, Auntie, there's still a certain gap. Ling Ying, who had just walked away, was quite happy to hear the first half of Lin Xian's words. When he heard the last half, he wanted to kick him. F***ck. A bootlicker will die a horrible death. Ha ha ha, little Xian, you have good taste. Qin Lon was very satisfied with these few words, mainly because she was very happy to be licked. She also understood why Lin Xian was able to get her daughter. With such a glib tongue, any girl would be easily moved. A glib tongue was nothing, as long as he had a good character. Girls would be happy to hear such glib tongues. Of course, it was fine to only use glib tongues with one person, as long as he didn't do the same to every girl. Little did she know that Lin Xian really did do the same to every girl. However, Qin Lon didn't know that. Instead, she felt that Lin Xian was daring enough to sacrifice himself to save more people. Such a young man's character was definitely guaranteed. In this era, for a young man to have such awareness and do such a thing, Qin Lon really admired him. Since Auntie said so, I won't be unreasonable and accept Auntie's words. Even if I have bad taste, I can't fall for your daughter, right? After all, this is your daughter who was raised single-handedly. Naturally, her excellence goes without saying. She must have inherited Auntie's fine tradition. Although it may not be much, it is enough. Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Ying. Oh my God. Can I kill someone? I really want to stab this person to death. Qin Lon was laughing so happily that she could die. Lin Xian and Qin Lon chatted about a lot of things, but most of it was about daily life. Ling Ying had also finished preparing breakfast. Little Xian, let's eat and talk. Qin Lon hugged Lin Xian's shoulder and walked to the kitchen while chatting and laughing. Ling Ying. Oh my God. Is this Lin Xian poisonous? How long has it been and he is already so close to her mother? Sure enough, a bootlicker has its advantages. Come, come, come. Little Xian, eat a few more poached eggs. Your body will be better. When the time comes, give Auntie a few more chubby grandsons. Qianlong said with a smile as she kept putting poached eggs into Lin Xian's bowl. Lin Xian smiled and said, Auntie, I'm fine with it. It's just that little Ing. Her? If she doesn't agree, you can look for me. See if Auntie won't teach her a lesson, Qianlong said to Lin Xian after glancing at Ling Ying. Ling Ying, it's over. He was going to explode. Mom, I'm only 23 years old, and Lin Xian isn't even 22 years old yet. What's the rush? Little Xian isn't even 22 years old yet? Qianlong was stunned. Actually, it was impossible to tell if a person was 21 or 22 years old or 24 or 25 years old. At most, one could tell a person's experience from their speech. But Lin Xian's speech made Qianlong feel that it was not something a 21-year-old could have. Ling Ying nodded. That's right. I say, lass, aren't you an old cow eating young grass? Ling Ying. Lin Xian nearly laughed out loud. Mom, you're only older by a year or so. You're not even 2 years old. That's nothing. Ling Ying was about to die of helplessness because of his mother. No wonder you're so skinny, little Xian. You have to eat more. Otherwise, you won't be able to feed this lass. Qianlong said to Lin Xian in all seriousness. Lin Xian. Damn. This mother is tough. Ling Ying secretly held his forehead. That's right, he was also used to this mother's toughness. It's nothing. I'm still okay. That won't do. Auntie has been through this before. There are only cows that die of exhaustion, but no fields that are ruined by plowing. Lin Xian. Chapter 204. This mother-in-law of his. How valiant. Mom, why are you telling Lin Xian this? Ling Ying was about to cry. She had a feeling that she, as his daughter, had nothing to say. Go and get some rice for Lin Xian, Qianlong snapped at Qianlong. Qianlong said to Ling Ying in annoyance. She then turned and smiled at Lin Xian. Ling Ying. She was his biological daughter. This Lin Xian. Oh, Ling Ying replied and went to get some rice for Lin Xian. Qianlong then whispered to Lin Xian, you mustn't take this matter lightly. If you can't do that, even if a girl doesn't say it out loud, she'll still be unhappy. Auntie has been through this before. Although that uncle of yours is very capable, that was when he was young. Now, he's not as good as he used to be. You have to pay more attention to this when you're young. Ask Xiaoying to make more nutritious food for you, do you hear me? Lin Xian was dying of laughter in his heart. He nodded and said, Auntie, I'll remember that. Also, Qianlong looked at Ling Ying in the kitchen and whispered, there's something Auntie wants to praise you for. You didn't see that thing. What? You know. Lin Xian. He really didn't know. He didn't see anything to be praised for. Qianlong clicked her tongue and said, that's what you men wear. Lin Xian. Pfft. Lin Xian couldn't help but burst out laughing. Ling Ying, who was in the kitchen, turned around and looked at her in confusion. Auntie, don't people have to pay attention to safety? Why are you doing the opposite? You don't understand. This girl finally found a boyfriend. It's been 23 years. She's not anxious, but I'm anxious. When I see people her age carrying grandchildren, do you think Auntie isn't anxious? So, in the future, if this girl asks you to wear it, don't wear it. Do you hear me? Lin Xian. What should I wear? Ling Ying happened to hear this and passed the rice to Lin Xian. Go play in the sand, Qianlong said to Ling Ying. He had just reached the most important part when this girl came to interrupt him. Qianlong was displeased. Lin Xian also wanted to laugh to death. Previously in Ling Ying's room, Qianlong was as gentle as she could be to Ling Ying. Now that her interest had shifted to Lin Xian, Ling Ying directly kicked her away. Lin Xian. It was so damn realistic. She should have known that her mother was like this. Mom, I haven't had breakfast yet. Ling Ying said helplessly. Eat while playing on the sand. Ling Ying. All right, you're my mother. You're amazing. Ha ha ha, Auntie is just joking, Lin Xian said to Ling Ying. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian. It was this guy. Qin Lan should have made a table full of delicious food for him. Who would have thought that now? Sob, 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 he was crying. Sit down and eat. This girl is jealous of you, ah. Qin Lan looked at Ling Ying's expression and couldn't help but laugh. Mom. Ling Ying stomped his little feet and couldn't help but grumble. Okay. Mom won't say any more. Mom is very satisfied with little Xian. As for your dad, I'll talk to him, but it might not be very effective. When you go back and act coquettishly with your dad and cook more delicious food for him, maybe things will be better. Qin Lan looked at Ling Ying and said, No way. When the time comes, he won't let me come back. Sigh, you have to go back to Chengdu sooner or later. You can't forget about your dad when you have a man. This Tianhua city, actually, even if we defend it, we won't be able to defend it for too long. According to one thing I know, there's an expert proficient in space in the Myriad Demon Alliance. She should be at the Heavenly Venerable Realm at most, and Heavenly Venerable Realm experts can participate in battles. It's not like we don't have Heavenly Venerable Realm experts with the space attribute. What are you afraid of? Ling Ying asked. It's different. That's a Void Fox. It's impossible for anyone to be comparable to a Void Fox in terms of space power and control. Our so-called Heavenly Venerable Realm experts with a space attribute are probably not a match for a Void Fox of the same level. Qin Lan sighed and said, Void Fox? Isn't that neutral? Why would she join the Myriad Demon Alliance? Ling Ying asked in shock. We definitely don't know about this. This news seems to have come from the demonic beast domain. It seems like someone specially told us this news and asked us to pay attention to it. It's better to believe it than not. Otherwise, if we are completely unprepared, it will only be a mess. Lin Xian was surprised when he heard their words. The existence with the strongest control of space. That woman from before also had an extremely strong control of space, right? Auntie, are there many demonic beasts with the space attribute? Lin Xian asked. Qin Lan shook her head. Demonic beasts are different from us humans. When demonic beasts are born, their attributes are determined by their race. For example, when a fire qilin is born, it can only have the fire attribute. It can't have any other attributes. The most common one is the vanishing shadow heavenly wolf. It can only have the half-darkness attribute. It can't have any other attributes. Qin Lan paused for a moment before continuing. Among the demonic beasts, there are only a few races with the space attribute. The Void Fox is the first. We aren't afraid of the others, but the Void Fox's control of space is heaven-defying. If they join the Myriad Demon Alliance, their Heavenly Venerable Realm experts are enough to make us have no room to fight back. So, we can only pray that this news is false. Lin Xian wasn't sure if the woman he had slept with was a Void Fox. He felt that her use of the space attribute was very powerful. However, because her realm was high, if other demonic beasts with the space attribute were also high and could casually do the same, then he couldn't be sure that she was a Void Fox. However, Lin Xian had heard legends that the Fox clan was beautiful. This Void Fox was also a Fox clan. That woman was so beautiful that she could be a demon. Who knows? Lin Xian didn't want to think about it anymore. The key was that it was useless. The other party wanted to kill him, so why should he think about it? So, little Xian, it's not that Auntie didn't remind you. The best situation is to move away from Tianhua City and come to Tiandu. Auntie will protect you there. Qin Lan looked at Lin Xian and said. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. Forget it. Tianhua City is my home. I won't leave until this place falls. Also, as a martial artist, I should contribute more to the survival of mankind. It may be a small amount, but if everyone says what Auntie said, then there will be no one to protect this world. Our cities will be easily conquered by the demonic beasts. They will even think that we humans are afraid of them. Then, it won't be long before there is no place for us to stand in this world. Chapter 205. Qianlong looked at Lin Xian's sincere eyes and nodded. No wonder you can get along with little Ying. The two of you are very similar. This girl also gave up everything to come to the border in order to contribute to the survival of the human race. She fought on the front line. For this reason, your uncle was very angry at that time, but as time passed, Auntie found that her choice was not wrong. Qianlong rubbed Ling Ying's hair and said, Little Ying has grown too much in these 2 years. This is the biggest gain in life, and it is also the only gain that can be obtained. So, Auntie should support her even more, right? Lin Xian said with a smile. Support, of course I support her. Otherwise, this girl would not have been able to come out. I quarreled with her father many times because of this. Fortunately, she is fine, but this time. Little Xian, this time is different. If the Void Fox is real, you won't have any room to resist. The power of the Void Fox can detonate space. No matter how many people there are, especially you will all die in an instant. Qianlong sighed. Auntie understands what you mean. Isn't this world lacking children like you? The future also needs to rely on you to protect it. However, without absolute strength, in the face of such danger, you are not fighting for mankind. You know that there is a tiger in the mountain, but you still want to go to the tiger's mountain. This is a stupid behavior. Qianlong looked at Lin Xian and said. Lin Xian nodded, but because of this, we have to stand up and let more people stand up. The Void Fox is blocked by human experts. If we are not on the same level, we will not fight with her. Our battlefield is the other demon beasts. If everyone is like this, then there is really no hope. Ling Ying said, Yes, Mom, you don't have to worry about this matter. If we leave like this, the demon beasts will be even more unscrupulous. Chengdu is safe now, but what if the demon beasts attack Chengdu? At that time, will we still have the same idea? Even if I did, would it be too late? That's true. I'm just worried about you. If something happens to you, what am I going to do with my chubby grandson? Why don't you give birth to a grandson for me to hold first, and then you can do whatever you want? Is that okay? Lin Xian, Ling Ying, why do I feel like I've been tricked? Mom, you're still talking about this. Ling Ying blushed and pouted. Qianlong said, Xian, I don't care about your family background as long as you treat Xiaoying well. But there's one thing I care about very much. When are you going to help me make this child? Mom, do you think I'm laying eggs? Ling Ying said helplessly. Don't tell me. Little Xian can't do it? Qianlong looked at Lin Xian and said without hesitation. Lin Xian, Auntie, you should ask Ling Ying about this. She has the most right to speak. Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Ying blushed. Bastard. She did know whether he could do it or not, but it was too damn good. This Qianlong even said that there were only cows that died from exhaustion and no fields that could be plowed. Why did Lin Xian think that she said the opposite? Oh. Xiaoying, tell me about it, Qianlong asked curiously. What are you talking about, Mom? How old are you? Is it really okay to talk about this in front of the younger generation? Qianlong was not happy. Tell me, how old am I? Ling Ying, lass, you're a far cry from little Xian when it comes to talking. All right. I was wrong. Ling Ying wanted to cry. Then tell me about it. Qianlong continued to interrogate her. She could not let Ling Ying be taken advantage of. This kind of thing was very necessary. Because she knew very well that if a girl was not satisfied, it would be very uncomfortable. She could not let her daughter be like this. It was not too late to give up now. When the time came for them to get married, then it would be too late. Very good. Ling Ying said with a red face. Lin Xian felt very good. There was nothing better than a woman commenting on a man. How good? Qinlan looked at her shy daughter and asked with a smile. Mom. Tell me. Otherwise, don't even think about bringing little Xian home. I don't agree to this marriage. Lin Xian. Ling Ying. Then what do you want me to say? This is not easy to say. Lin Xian expressed his admiration. This mother-in-law of his was too damn tough. She was asking about this in front of them. TSK, but Lin Xian liked it very much. Just tell me how long it will take. Lin Xian's face turned red. Damn. Can't you and your daughter talk about this in private? Is it really okay to do it in front of me? Fortunately, Lin Xian was very confident in this aspect, so it was fine. Ling Ying tilted her head and really thought about it. She did not know how long it would take, but she knew that it would be very long. Every time, she would have to beg Lin Xian for mercy before he would stop and end everything. Okay, a few hours. Qinlan, tell me the truth. Really, I'm not lying to you. Qinlan opened her small mouth. Auntie, let's not talk about this. Lin Xian's face turned red. Qinlan really wanted to ask him what a few hours meant. But she really did not believe it. Why don't I believe it? It's true. Every time, I have to beg for mercy before he stops. Are you on medication? Lin Xian. No. Good. Then I'll leave little Ying in your care. Lin Xian. Damn. She was the first adult in the world to have such a standard for a son-in-law, right? Who could stand this? But, if all the mothers-in-law in the world were like this, then Lin Xian, wouldn't the world be like heaven? Qinlan's beautiful eyes looked at Lin Xian a few more times, then she coughed and said, Well, let's eat first. After awkwardly finishing breakfast, Ling Ying obediently went to wash the dishes. Qinlan quickly pulled Lin Xian to the side. Little Xian, listen to Auntie. Don't wear it in the future. Lin Xian. Auntie, we're still young. How old are you? Still young. I don't care. If you don't agree to this, you can forget about being with little Ying. Lin Xian. I agree, but on her side. Auntie will talk to her. Don't worry. Also, Qinlan sighed and said, Actually, Auntie really hopes that you can leave Tianhua City temporarily. Even if you go to a neighboring city, don't stay in Tianhua City. Auntie is really afraid that something will happen to you. We won't. We know what to do. You child, this is not a matter of whether or not you know what to do. When the time comes, can you know what to do? This is for the demonic beasts. Auntie is not afraid to tell you that for now, at least for the next 10 years, humans can only try their best to defend against the attacks of demonic beasts, but they can't defend against them. Chapter 206. Qinlan's words were not meant to frighten Lin Xian and Ling Ying, but it was a fact. Although there were many human cultivators now, most of them were like the cultivators in Sky Martial Court's beginner class. They were around Qi building realm 5 stars, and many of them did not know how to fight. They also did not have the courage to go out of the demonic beast domain to continuously improve themselves. In simple terms, they were equivalent to slackers. It was a stark contrast to Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and Qin Xiaotian, who went out crazily to improve themselves. This kind of cultivator occupied the majority of the human population. Therefore, the country adopted a series of policies, including the operation in Linfeng City, to massively improve the strength of the entire population. The country also knew this. It was useless for a small number of people to be strong. Only when the entire population was strong and had the desire to become strong could it be possible. Everyone knew this, so the country also implemented this. Unfortunately, the first operation ended in failure. What Qinlan meant was that, at least for now, the current situation would not change. Even if it changed, it would take time. 10 years was the minimum time it would take. That was under the premise that a series of policies were successful and the entire population became stronger. Only then would they be able to withstand the attacks of the demonic beasts. However, this was only an ideal. It was too difficult to realize it in reality. But at least for now, this was the current situation. Otherwise, the demonic beasts would not have occupied half of the cities and regions in China. We know this as well, but Auntie, isn't it back to that sentence? If we also give up on our ideals and run away when the demonic beasts attack the city, not to mention whether we can defend against the demonic beasts in 10 years, China might not even exist in 10 years. Lin Xian looked at Qin Lan and said. Qin Lan sighed softly. All right, Auntie also knows that I can't persuade you and Xiaoying. However, there is one condition. You must act according to your capabilities. Lin Xian nodded slightly. At this time, Ling Ying finished washing the dishes and walked over with a wronged expression. She was unhappy. She felt that her biological mother had forgotten her old love after finding a new one. She, the biological daughter, seemed to have become a servant. Mom, that spatial ring. Ling Ying thought of this and asked. Oh, I almost forgot. Qin Lan stretched out her hand and an inconspicuous ring appeared in her hand. She said, if I'm not wrong, this ring should be for little Xian, right? Ling Ying nodded slightly. Then, Qin Lan handed the interspatial ring to Lin Xian. Lin Xian took it. As someone with a spatial attribute, he could indeed feel the power of space. For a warrior, a spatial ring is still a very important thing. It is very convenient. You can open and close it by pouring your spiritual power into it. Qin Lan said to Lin Xian. Thank you, Auntie. We're family. There's no need for thanks, Qin Lan said with a smile. Mom, what family? We're not even a family yet. Ling Ying said coquettishly with a red face. Qin Lan looked at Ling Ying with a smile and said, Aren't we family? If we aren't, then I won't give it to you. Ling Ying. Yes, it's not enough. Lin Xian smiled awkwardly and put the interspatial ring on his finger. With a slight movement of his mind, he could see the inside of the interspatial ring. It wasn't big, only 5 cubic meters, but it was already very good and very precious. By the way, I happen to be in Tianhua City for the next 2 days. How about, little Xian, when you have time, let Auntie meet your parents? Qin Lan revealed a smile. Since Ling Ying liked this matter, she would settle it. As for the one in her family, when the time came, he would be helpless. Therefore, she would try her best to settle this matter. Qin Lan really didn't care about Lin Xian's family background. Because her family was too big, it didn't matter. As long as her daughter liked it, it was the most important. Her daughter was sleeping with him, so how could she not like him? The most important thing was that Qin Lan was very satisfied with Lin Xian. Lin Xian froze for a moment and then said, I don't have parents. After Qin Lan heard this, she was slightly stunned and then suddenly understood. In the past, it might be very strange to hear that he didn't have parents, but in the current era, it was very normal. Many people's families were incomplete because of the demon beasts attacking the city. Too many people died in the hands of the demon beasts. It was no wonder that Lin Xian was different from ordinary people. Only by living in a different environment could one cultivate different people. It's okay. You can call me Mom in the future. Lin Xian. No, shouldn't the legendary mother-in-law be very strict? This Qin Lan was so good that Lin Xian was touched. Mom. Hearing Qin Lan's words, Ling Ying helplessly pouted. Okay. I won't say any more. Little Xian, your family now, Lin Xian said. I have an older sister who grew up in an orphanage. You were so young. Qin Lan was slightly surprised. Lin Xian smiled and shook his head. No. To be precise, I don't have parents in my memory. It seems that I was born in an orphanage. This body was indeed like that. His parents had never seen it, at least not in his memory. The starting point of his memory was a very small orphanage, and Lin Ya's porcelain doll when he was young. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Qin Lan was even more shocked. In this era, it was normal to not have a family, but it was rare to be born without a family. As for Lin Xian, Qianlong felt sorry for him and admired him. He had never felt the care of a family since he was young, but he was still able to grow up to be a good child who served the country and the people. Normally, children who grew up in such circumstances would be incomparably eccentric. Ling Ying was actually quite surprised. She knew that Lin Xian grew up in an orphanage, but she didn't expect that he didn't have parents in his memory. A person who grew up in such a way could become such a sloppy person. Ling Ying also admired Lin Xian. It's okay. Auntie and little Ying will be your family in the future. Lin Xian grinned. Okay. By the way, let Auntie feel your space attribute. Mom, about that, let's go shopping. Hearing Qianlan's words, Ling Ying quickly said. She heard from Lin Xian that his space attribute was temporarily gone. If he couldn't release it now, it would be awkward. Shopping. Later, there's no need to rush. Lin Xian smiled and said, Okay, then what does Auntie want me to do? Ling Ying was slightly stunned. Lin Xian actually agreed? Or was it that his space attribute had returned? How about this? Use all your strength to compress the space around me. Auntie will feel what level your space power has reached. Chapter 207. In the past, Lin Xian's spatial power was naturally not strong. However, after completing that mission, his spatial speed had increased by 10%. In other words, Lin Xian now had around 11% spatial proficiency, which was actually very high. Previously, it was only 1%. When he was at the place where the woman lived, he could jump 100 meters with his full strength. Now, it had increased by 10 times. That's good. Lin Xian nodded slightly. Since Qianlong dared to say such words, she was not afraid. Moreover, Lin Xian's eye of spiritual insight could not detect her realm. Therefore, she must be at the mysterious heaven realm. Then, the spiritual energy around Lin Xian's body surged. Ling Ying felt the spatial power around Lin Xian's body, and her beautiful eyes lit up. This time, she was satisfied. Her man wasn't that useless after all. If Lin Xian knew what she was thinking, he would definitely bully her to death. F***ck. In other words, before this, he was useless? Qianlong felt the purity of the spatial energy and was very satisfied. Then, Lin Xian released the spatial compression. The spatial compression he released with his full strength should be able to crush someone of the same realm to death within a 3 square meter radius. Of course, that was not necessarily the case. However, if his spatial proficiency was raised to a very high level, not to mention someone of the same realm, he might be able to kill someone of a higher realm. This was determined by several factors. The first was the strength of the person and the opponent. The second was the number of opponents. The third was the size of the spatial compression. The fourth was the degree of spatial control. These factors determined the effect of one's spatial or temporal manipulation. Qianlong felt the spatial compression and released her power to resist. Then, she revealed a slightly surprised expression. Ooh! Lin Xian took a deep breath and cancelled his spiritual energy. Not bad. Qianlong nodded slightly and said, Your cultivation level isn't too high, only at the arcane body stage 6 stars. However, there's no need to worry about your cultivation level for now. Your control over space is stronger than any other young talent with the same spatial attribute that I've seen. This is also a kind of talent, but... Qianlong frowned slightly and then muttered, I heard that when you were at the mysterious body realm 1 star, you were able to jump 1,000 meters with 40 people. According to your current situation, you can't do that. Instead, you're at the mysterious body realm 6 stars now. Did you not use your full strength? Lin Xian shook his head. No, I used my full strength. As for why I was able to do it before, I think it's because I was in a desperate situation. That is also possible. However, your spiritual energy must be sufficient to support it. You should have something that can greatly increase your spiritual energy as support, right? Lin Xian nodded. What could he do? That was the first time he used spatial release. The effect might have reached 50%, so it was very strong. But now, it was only 11%. Even if his realm was higher, his proficiency was too far away. Therefore, Lin Xian could only follow Qin Lan's words. But since you were able to reach such a level in that situation, it proves that you do have the potential. You do have an extraordinary grasp of spatial control. Although I'm a little disappointed, I'm not disappointed with your potential. If you can stay true to your heart and continue to improve your realm, you will become a strong person in the future. You will also be worthy of little Ying, Qin Lan said to Lin Xian. Mom, don't say it out loud. Ling Ying pouted. Look, this girl isn't even married yet and she's already siding with an outsider. No, it's just that. Some things shouldn't be said out loud, Ling Ying said helplessly. He was a little disappointed. It wasn't good to say such things out loud. Lin Xian actually didn't care. Normally speaking, it was reasonable to be disappointed. Because Lin Xian's grasp of spatial control was too different from the rumors. But this was Qin Lan. She didn't like to beat around the bush with others. If she liked someone, she liked them. If she didn't like them, she didn't like them. For example, if Qin Lan was satisfied with Lin Xian, she would talk and laugh with Lin Xian. If Qin Lan didn't like Ling Ying's boyfriend, regardless of whether Ling Ying liked him or not, Qin Lan wouldn't be nice to him. She was such a truthful person. This was what made Lin Xian feel better about Qin Lan. Lin Xian didn't feel that there was anything wrong with what Qin Lan said. It's okay. Auntie is right. But I have confidence in improving myself. Qin Lan nodded in satisfaction. Your starting point is already very high because of your spatial attribute. In addition, your grasp of spatial control is also top-notch among your peers. But you just need to have the heart to become stronger. Auntie doesn't like people who don't have ambition. On the contrary, Auntie didn't want you to stay in Tianhua City and retire to the second line. If you had agreed, it would have reduced Auntie's score. But you passed Auntie's test. It can't be called a test. My good impression of you didn't decrease. But you can't be arrogant. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. Ling Ying secretly touched his forehead. By the way, I heard from Xiao Ying that you also have a lightning attribute, right? Lin Xian nodded and stretched out his hand. Lightning condensed in his palm. Purple lightning. Qin Lan's beautiful eyes lit up. The spatial attribute was one of the top-notch attributes. But the lightning attribute was actually the strongest among all the lightning, the purple lightning. Any one of these two attributes was already very powerful. She didn't expect that both of them would appear in the same person. That's right. There's something I don't know if you've noticed before. Qin Lan said. Auntie, please go ahead. Have you ever tried to combine the power of two attributes? To be precise, it's a combination. Combination? Lin Xian frowned and stood there thinking. For example, you can release a bolt of lightning to attack a target. Then, with the help of spatial energy, the lightning can instantly jump to another location of the target, achieving a surprise attack. Hearing Qin Lan's words, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Damn! Auntie, you're simply too smart. Lin Xian said excitedly. This sentence wasn't deliberately flattering her. It was truly from the bottom of his heart. Why didn't he think of it? This might be the power of having two attributes. It could be used in combination. But basically, spatial energy could achieve the highest cost-performance ratio. It was difficult for other attributes to be combined. Releasing lightning, and when it was about to hit the target, suddenly releasing spatial energy to perform a spatial jump, creating a wormhole in front of the target for the lightning to enter. Then, creating a wormhole behind the target for the lightning to come out from behind. If this was used skillfully, it was simply heaven-defying in battle. Qin Lan smiled faintly and said, Because you have the space attribute. Space is the most powerful attribute among all the attributes. But don't be happy too early. If your current space attribute is only at the elementary level, then you'll need at least 5 years to reach the proficiency level. You might not be able to grasp it even after 10 years. Chapter 208. What Qianlong said was right. Dreams were beautiful, but it was too harsh on the individual. You're right, but I'll work hard on my cultivation. Alright, that's good for you. Ling Ying rubbed her forehead secretly. What was so good about Lin Xian that her mother liked him so much? Little Ling, go change your clothes. Let's go shopping. Little Xian, come with us. Lin Xian. Initially, he did not want to go shopping with a woman. After all, shopping with a woman was a very scary thing. However, she was his mother-in-law. Since she had said that she would come with him, it would not be good if Lin Xian rejected her. All right. After changing their clothes, the three of them went shopping together. They only finished at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They also had lunch outside. However, after shopping, Lin Xian went to the Sky Martial Court. Ling Ying did not go. Naturally, she accompanied Qianlong. In Ling Ying's house, Qianlong and Ling Ying were sitting on the sofa. Ling Ying was massaging Qianlong's legs. Mom, it's better if you don't interfere in the matter between Lin Xian and me. Ling Ying said softly. What? Don't interfere? Qianlong looked at her daughter. Ling Ying nodded slightly. All right, let nature take its course. Sigh, my daughter has grown up. She has her own thoughts now. No. Ling Ying bit her lip. She liked Lin Xian. Naturally, she liked him now. However, Ling Ying felt that there was a strange feeling between her and Lin Xian. She could not put her finger on it. It was not that they were not suitable. However, if one day, Lin Xian was seen seducing other girls, what would she think? Or was she only with Lin Xian for a short period of time? Could they not be together forever? Ling Ying was also conflicted. She did not understand her own heart. Even in Ling Ying's eyes, she wanted to let nature take its course. Then I'll still have to tell your father about this. Can I not tell you? Ling Ying looked at Qianlong. Qianlong shook her head. You also know that those families in Chengdu have come to our Ling family to propose marriage many times. It's fine if you're not here, but you have to go back. You need to let your father know about this matter and let him express his attitude to those families. After all, they are some big families that are not inferior to the Ling family. We can't let them wait for you all the time. When you go back and suddenly say that you have a boyfriend, they won't be able to end it. Therefore, we need to let your father inform the young masters of those families in advance about this matter. Then, all right. So, correspondingly, your father's attitude towards Lin Xian will also be affected by one thing, and that is your father's attitude towards him. What's done can't be undone. It's useless even if your father refuses. However, no matter what, he has to be satisfied with Lin Xian. Therefore, it shouldn't be long before you bring Lin Xian to the Ling family. Ling Ying. She knew about this matter too. But she was also very conflicted. Qianlong continued, so, when the time comes, I will let you all know in advance. You and Lin Xian have to be prepared. Also, let Lin Xian be prepared for your father to make things difficult for him. Just space and lightning alone are not enough in your father's eyes. I understand. Lin Xian arrived at the Sky Martial Court. At this moment, the Sky Martial Court, no, the entire Tianhua Academy, was in a gloomy mood. So many people had died, and there were definitely many people in the Sky Martial Court. After all, everyone in the Sky Martial Court wanted to improve themselves. Using this opportunity, naturally, half of them would go. However, it was not certain how many people had died. It was not just the Sky Martial Court, but the other major academies as well. However, there were no changes to the beginner class. This was because participating in the mission required one to be at least 1 star of the Spirit Focus stage. Most of the beginner class were in the Qi building stage. When he returned to class 10, Xiao Runing was teaching them. When she saw Lin Xian, she said, "Find a seat and sit down." "All right, Miss Xiao." Lin Xian naturally sat beside Lu Yufan and Yi Yi. When the two girls found out about this, they naturally contacted Lin Xian immediately. When they found out that Lin Xian was fine, they were relieved. 10 minutes later, Xiao Runing finished her lesson. She still had a lot of things to do, so she left in a hurry. Brother Xian. The people from Class 10 immediately surrounded Lin Xian. Brother Xian, tell us about how scary it was that night. Yeah. So many people died. Now, who knows how many warriors don't dare to go out? Is our Tianhua city really going to fall? The people from Class 10 chattered and asked. Lin Xian said, this incident has already passed, and there wasn't anything too scary. We just encountered some powerful demonic beasts that we didn't expect. That's why such an accident happened. As for Tianhua City, there's no need for everyone to worry. There should be quite a number of experts from all the major cities stationed in Tianhua City. At least it's fine for now. Let's all disperse. Then, Lin Xian leaned against the chair and stretched. Lin Xian, is what you said true? Right now, everyone in Tianhua City is saying that it's going to fall. Many people are already preparing to move away. Yi asked Lin Xian worriedly. Lin Xian shook his head. Why would it fall? With so many experts, the three major powers have expanded their forces in Tianhua City. Their defenses are even several times stronger than before. It's probably because there are so many defenses all of a sudden that everyone feels that it's even more dangerous. Yi muttered to herself. Ugh. It's a pity that I'm too weak, and my fighting ability isn't strong either. Even if I wanted to help, it wouldn't be of much use. Lu Yufan pouted. Don't think about it. It's useless even if you're strong. Lin Xian laughed. Lu Yufan, you can't hurt people like that. Lu Yufan rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. However, don't go out to train for the time being. Let's wait for this period of time to pass. Lin Xian reminded them. Lin Xian glanced at Lu Yufan's favorability towards him. 62. With this favorability, if he were to confess, he would normally succeed. Furthermore, Lin Xian urgently needed to open the second shopping center. Right now, he had more than 30 million scum man points that he had nowhere to use. Simply exchanging them for experience fruits would be too wasteful. Thus, Lin Xian didn't use them at all. Furthermore, he still needed to go to the demonic beast domain. Even in such an environment, he still needed to go. Right now, he was at Arcane Body Realm 6 stars. It would be best if he could reach Arcane Heaven Realm within half a month. In half a month, it would be the Qianwu Conference. Lin Xian was looking forward to the second shopping center. Thus, Lin Xian decided that if there was a chance, he would take down Lu Yufan, this little cutie, in these 2 days. It should be about time. Right, is Qin Xiaotian back yet? Lin Xian asked. As for whether Qin Xiaotian had died in the demonic beast domain, Lin Xian didn't know. If he died, he might be relieved, but at the same time, he wouldn't be willing to accept it. Chapter 209. Upon hearing Lin Xian's words, Yi nodded. He's back. Yeah, he came to look for Yi not long ago. Why are you looking for him? As expected, Lin Xian muttered to himself. It was not easy for someone like him to die there. Since Ling Ying had reached the Mystic Heaven Realm, Qin Xiaotian must have reached the Mystic Heaven Realm as well. Although Lin Xian's cultivation was not slow, the Mystic Heaven Realm and the Mystic Body Realm were two different realms. Oh right. Yi thought of something and looked at Lin Xian with a red face. It's my birthday the day after tomorrow. Are you free tonight? There's a birthday party at home. If you're free. Of course. Lin Xian grinned. This was a good opportunity to get closer to a girl. He had to go. Upon hearing Lin Xian's straightforward answer, Yi was overjoyed. Okay, the day after tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening. I'll send you the address then. But I don't have much money to buy expensive gifts. No need. It's fine as long as you're here. Yi said with a smile. Okay. Oh right, I almost forgot. I still have something to do. Lin Xian suddenly remembered Wang Xintong. He still had to look for Qin Feng. Alright, I'll be off first. Lin Xian left in a hurry. Lin Xian did not know where Qin Feng was, but he would know when he reached the sacred palace. After hailing a cab, Lin Xian went straight to the sacred palace. At that moment, Qin Xiaotian was in the garden of the Sky Marshal Court's villa. He took out his phone and made a call. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you making a move? Qin Xiaotian thought that Lin Xian would die in the demonic beast domain after what happened. He did not expect that Lin Xian was still alive. And Lin Xian definitely couldn't be left alive, so they had to act as soon as possible. Chu Haohan's voice came from the phone. Young Master Qin, don't be anxious. We're just looking for a suitable opportunity. Besides, Lin Xian didn't come home last night, so I haven't made a move yet. It's best to settle this matter within the next 2 days. Lin Xian coming back alive gave Qin Xiaotian a feeling that he would not die so easily. It was true that he had reached the profound sky realm, but it was not easy for him to make a move, and if Lin Xian continued to stay, he would feel an inexplicable sense of threat. Even in his eyes, Lin Xian was still worthless. However, the space attribute, he didn't dare to make any guarantees. Okay. After saying that, the call was hung up. At this time, a figure walked over, causing Qin Xiaotian's brows to furrow. He turned around and looked at Han Chuxue. Did she hear that? He should have heard it. For Han Chuxue, it was very easy to hear. Fortunately, Qin Xiaotian recalled that what he had just said didn't seem to reveal anything. Good afternoon. Qin Xiaotian smiled and greeted Han Chuxue. Han Chuxue nodded slightly, then walked over and put away some of her previous paintings. Why haven't I seen you go to the beast domain to train recently? Qin Xiaotian asked. Boring. After saying that, Han Chuxue hugged her things and walked away. When she reached the door, she paused and said, Do you know that there was a traitor among the humans in the last operation? Qin Xiaotian was slightly stunned. He subconsciously thought that it was him, but it shouldn't be him, right? What's wrong? I'm not too sure. Nothing. After saying that, Han Chuxue walked away. Qin Xiaotian frowned on the spot. Was she trying to get information from him? But that wasn't right. He, Qin Xiaotian, was not a traitor of the humans. The failure of the last operation was not because of him, so he really didn't understand the meaning of Han Chuxue's words. Han Chuxue actually didn't mean anything else. The traitor of the humans caused the failure of the operation and heavy losses. This matter was temporarily confidential to the public, but there were some people who knew about it. Han Chuxue was naturally one of them. She naturally heard what Qin Xiaotian said on the phone just now. She couldn't hear anything from the content, but she was smart enough to hear the urgency in Qin Xiaotian's voice, and there were some emotions in his tone that were completely different from his usual gentlemanly demeanor. Han Chuxue's mind was actually very meticulous. Even if she didn't know anything, she knew that Qin Xiaotian must be doing something bad, because her impression of Qin Xiaotian was actually not good. So it could be said that she was trying to get information from Qin Xiaotian. At this moment, Qin Xiaotian even had an impulse to get rid of Han Chuxue, but he dispelled it. Even if she was suspicious, so what? If Qin Xiaotian had said a name or some keywords, then he might have really chosen to get rid of Han Chuxue. Between the person he liked and his own life, Qin Xiaotian naturally chose the latter. At this moment, Lin Xian arrived outside the temple building. The temple and the Bounty Hunter Guild were different. Non-members of the temple were not allowed to enter. Identification was required. Hello, I'm looking for Commander-in-Chief Qin Feng. Lin Xian said to the temple member guarding the door. Commander-in-Chief Qin Feng? May I know who you are? Lin Xian said, I'm his friend, I have an appointment with him. In the taxi, Lin Xian called Qin Feng and said that he had something important to discuss with him, and Qin Feng told him to go directly to the temple. Please come with me. After Lin Xian said this, he respectfully led Lin Xian into the temple. Of course, Qin Feng had already given the order. They arrived at the 33rd floor, which was the top floor of the building. The commander-in-chief is in the room at the front. Thank you. Lin Xian then walked over. Knock knock knock. Come in. Qin Feng's voice came from inside, and Lin Xian pushed open the door and walked in. When he saw Lin Xian, Qin Feng hurriedly smiled and said, "Have a seat. I'll get you a cup of tea." "Uncle Qin, you're too kind." Lin Xian did not pretend to be polite. "Come with me to the trial hall later," Qin Feng said as he placed the tea in front of Lin Xian. "Ah!" Lin Xian was stunned. Qin Feng said, "The trial of Wang Jichao will be decided in the afternoon. You can also be a witness. After all, it was thanks to you that we were able to find this traitor, so, when the time comes, you will have some rights to punish him. For this, the 3 major guilds would like to thank you in person. Although it's a little late, and even if he is executed, nothing will be salvaged, but we still hope that you can go. Even if you didn't come to me, I would have come to you." Lin Xian nodded. "Okay." Although Lin Xian did not care about this matter, to be able to see such a person being judged with his own eyes was also a way to vent his anger. Then, Qin Feng handed Lin Xian a small notebook and a badge. "This is your identity as the deputy commander, and this badge is also your identity badge. In the temple, at least in Tianhua City, it's not very useful in the other 2 major guilds." Chapter 210. Lin Xian took it and looked at it. It was a proof of identity. But this identity was something that many people couldn't obtain even if they risked their lives. Simply put, his status was second only to Qin Feng in the divine palace of Tianhua City. Even if Qin Feng reported Lin Xian's actions to China and Lin Xian received a lot of rewards, he definitely wouldn't be able to obtain this level of status. Although Lin Xian's contributions were great, his rank wasn't high enough and he wasn't qualified for this position. But Qin Feng had the right to set up this position himself. He didn't need Lin Xian to be strong enough to lead a lot of people to do something. Lin Xian couldn't do it either. Giving Lin Xian this identity could be considered a form of repayment to Lin Xian. It would allow Lin Xian to be fearless in Tianhua City even when facing some of the big families. Because he had the sanctuary as his backer and this position, it was more accurate to say that he didn't have the authority. But it was enough. If he had the authority, Lin Xian wouldn't have dared to lead troops into battle. It's still the same thing. This identity will allow you to do what you want in the police department and other high-ranking officials. You also have the authority to order people from the sanctuary to do some small things. But you don't have the authority to lead troops into battle. You'll have to report this to me. Qin Feng said. "I know. I don't lead troops into battle. This is enough. Thank you, Uncle Qin, for your trouble." Qin Feng waved his hand. "To be honest, this is useless. Why don't you let me report it and help you get more rewards? There might even be an Earth-rank martial skill. Speaking of which, I'm actually here to ask Uncle Qin about something. Don't be so polite with me. Speak." Lin Xian thought for a moment, then said, "I have a friend. Her brother was a member of the Holy Sanctum, but he sacrificed himself that night. There's no one left in her family, and she's the only one left. She wants to improve herself, so I'm thinking of asking Uncle Qin to teach her." Qin Feng said without hesitation, "This is a small matter, especially since her brother sacrificed himself for China. I naturally have to take up this responsibility. Is it a boy or a girl?" "That girl is my girlfriend." Qin Feng was stunned for a moment before he burst into laughter. "That's even less of a problem." Although she wasn't Lin Xian's girlfriend yet, Lin Xian felt that Qin Feng would definitely be more interested in Wang Xintong. "However, there is one thing that I have to say in advance. Because you know my identity, I will naturally teach her when I am free. I will even bring her to learn some leadership skills. If she is capable, perhaps I can nurture her to a higher position. However, when I am busy, I can only hire others to teach her." Qin Feng said. Lin Xian nodded. "I understand. I just feel that if Uncle Qin teaches her, she will definitely grow faster. I also believe that she will work even harder." "What are its attributes?" Qin Feng asked. Water and light dual attributes.
Oh.
Water and light dual attributes. These two attributes aren't the most powerful battle attributes, but it depends on the person. Dual attributes and light attribute at the same time. Not bad. Qin Feng nodded in satisfaction. Then I'll bring her to you tomorrow. Good. If there is nothing else, come with me to the trial union now.
Okay.
Then, Qin Feng personally drove Lin Xian to the trial union. After getting out of the car, Qin Feng said to Lin Xian as they walked, "The trial union is different from the other two major factions. In every city, the trial union is considered a mysterious faction. This means that on the surface, you can only find representatives of the trial union. However, the real trial union and its members are all hidden. Moreover, some of the members of the trial union are also relatively hidden." Trial union members? So many trial union members who participated in the operation belong to. Those are the members on the surface. They need to show their faces in public. However, the truly powerful ones are those who are hidden. Perhaps somewhere in our lives, even a student, or even a waiter in a bar could be a member of the trial union. They are the elites of the trial union. They are also the backbone of the investigation of the evil fiend temple and other martial artists who have violated the rules. Qin Feng explained to Lin Xian.
I see.
As they spoke, they walked into a noodle shop. There were very few people inside, so the business was probably not good. The two of them directly went behind a broken door that looked like a warehouse. When the broken door opened, there was actually an elevator in front of them. After entering the elevator, the two of them directly went underground. Lin Xian looked at the number. They were now 30 meters underground. The elevator door opened. In front of them was an underground base filled with a sense of technology. There were quite a lot of people, and there were even surveillance cameras everywhere. It was as if the trial union could monitor every place in Tianhua City. After all, they were mainly responsible for the safety of human living areas. They were similar to the police. Commander Qin. The people from the trial union saw Qin Feng and greeted him. Although they were not from the same faction, they still communicated a lot. After all, the world was under the protection of the three major factions. Naturally, they communicated with each other very actively. Moreover, Qin Feng's status was also high. He was one of the three people with the highest status in Tianhua City. It was normal for him to be able to enter and leave the base as he wished. It was the same as other people entering and leaving other factions. Of course, there might be some very special places that were not allowed. Generally speaking, there was nothing special about the border cities. Commander Qin. A man walked towards them. Lin Xian had seen him before. It was the Vice President, Chan Mo, Vice President Chen. The two of them shook hands. Then, Chen Mo looked at Lin Xian and extended his hand. Lin Xian, long time no see. Vice President, you're too polite. Go quickly. Some people from the higher-ups are already there. They're just waiting for the two of you.
Okay.
Then, they followed Chan Mo to a huge steel door. It seemed that even if you bombed it with a missile, the door would not be damaged. Chen Mo scanned it with a magnetic card and the door slowly opened.
Please.
Then, they walked in. To be precise, this place was equivalent to a prison. However, it was a place where you could not escape. This must be the place where the most dangerous and important criminals were kept. Once they entered, Lin Xian saw no less than 20 people standing there discussing something. Commander Qin. Long time no see. Mr. Liu, Commander Zhang, Commander Huang. The Commander-in-Chief of the Divine Palace, the President of the Trial Union, and the President of the Bounty Hunter Guild were the highest positions in each city. The people here were probably at least vice presidents or vice commanders. They were all powerful experts. Let me introduce you. This is Lin Xian. Qin Feng patted Lin Xian's shoulder and introduced him to the crowd. Chapter 211. Qin Feng might not have revealed the name of Lin Xian to the higher-ups of China, but the commanders of the nearby cities were naturally aware of it. Perhaps China was aware of it as well. After all, one of the representatives of China was Mr. Liu, an old man in his 60s or 70s. He was here on behalf of the higher-ups of China, so naturally, he knew about Lin Xian. He would definitely report it to China, but it was uncertain whether China would do anything about it. After all, Lin Xian had said that he did not want to be noticed. Everyone looked at Lin Xian. That's right. Since ancient times, heroes have always been young. Although this operation ended with 400 casualties and heavy losses, if it weren't for the measures taken by Lin Xian and your companions, our losses would have been total annihilation. You still saved tens of thousands of lives. For this, I express my gratitude to you on behalf of China. Lu Wui bowed slightly to Lin Xian, shocking everyone. Who was this Lu Wui? He was a high-ranking official in the Chinese government. To be precise, he was the superior of the commander-in-chief of the 3 major forces in each city. However, that was not the case. Although the 3 major forces protected the Chinese government, they did not belong to the Chinese government. They had their own bosses, but they maintained a cooperative relationship with the Chinese government. However, in terms of status and strength, Lu Wui was still superior to them. However, he bowed to Lin Xian with such a status. This, senior. I can't accept this. Lin Xian was also shocked and quickly helped Lu Wui up. It was said that the strong had their own dignity and would never lower their heads to those who were weaker than them. Lin Xian had firmly believed in this before, but now, he had changed his view of it. For those who cared about the world and the people, they would bow to those who had made special contributions like Lin Xian. This raised Lin Xian's impression of Lu Wui. Lu Wui patted Lin Xian's shoulder and said, "This is what I should do. I thank you on behalf of China for saving the people." Lin Xian did not know what to say. At this time, Qin Feng said to Lin Xian, "This is Mr. Liu. He doesn't belong to the 3 major forces. He represents China, and he's a super expert. If you have the chance, you can ask him for advice. Of course, it's my responsibility to teach these young talents." Lu Wui chuckled. Qin Feng said this for Lin Xian's sake. He wanted to close the relationship between Lin Xian and Lu Wui. "Thank you very much, Mr. Liu." Lin Xian bowed slightly. After that, Qin Feng introduced the other people to Lin Xian. There were only 2 people he knew, the president and vice president. Then, everyone's eyes fell on the big screen in front of them. The big screen showed Wang Jichao's current situation. He was tied to the wall by 4 iron chains and couldn't move. No one knew if he had fainted or was sleeping. Sigh, it's my fault. I didn't think that there would be such a bastard in the upper echelons of the Tianhua court. He caused this operation to fail. So many people were sacrificed, and he even caused China's plan to fail. Zhang Nan sighed. Lu Wui looked at Wang Jichao on the screen. His killing intent surged, but it quickly disappeared. Lin Xian was slightly surprised. He was indeed an expert. This killing intent was not something an ordinary person could compare to. He looked like a kind old man, but when his killing intent surged, it was very scary. This is not your fault. This is the result of human selfishness. It's not just Wang Jichao. In our 3 major forces, there must be people like him. They are like the members of the evil fiend temple, hiding themselves. They are the biggest cancer of humanity, but there is no way to find them. If he didn't reveal anything, even if you were his good friend, you wouldn't know. Mr. Liu, about this Wang Jichao, how should we deal with him? Lin Xian asked. He knew that Lu Wui was the most powerful person here, and he had the final say. The others were here to be witnesses and give suggestions. Lu Wui scanned the crowd, then looked at Lin Xian and said, "This person must die, so I hope that everyone can discuss the best way to deal with him. If you ask me, we should just use torture and cut him into pieces. That's the only way to vent our anger." A man said angrily, "Commander Huang, that's not a good idea. Venting our anger is not our original intention." Qin Feng sighed. "How about hanging him in front of the Tianhua city sign for 3 days?" Zhang Nan said. Lu Wui shook his head. That won't do. He must die, but sometimes this is not the best way. Everyone looked at each other in dismay. Who would have thought that executing an eternal sinner would be such a difficult task? Killing him was easy, and there were thousands of ways to do it. However, they needed to maximize the effect of his death. Even if he died, the tens of thousands of people who died because of him wouldn't be able to come back to life. However, wasn't it too easy to kill him? Lin Xian pondered for a moment and said, I think that the main point of our consideration is not to kill him, but to make him atone for his sins.
Oh.
What do you mean? Everyone looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, about the failure of our mission. Tens of thousands of people died. This matter is not only known in Tianhua City, but also in China. Even the other 4 big empires know about it. The impact is no less than a city being attacked by demonic beasts. However, the world knows that we failed. They will think that we are useless, and that the 3 big forces did not protect everyone well. That's why so many people died, because this matter was not revealed to the public, right? Qin Feng nodded. That's right. Because we considered that there was a traitor in the 3 big forces, and that this would cause everyone to lose confidence and trust in the 3 big forces. That's why this matter was not revealed to the public. Is there anything wrong with that? You are free to voice your opinion. Lin Xian then said, I can understand. However, from what I know, hiding this matter did not have a good effect. There are even some people in Tianhua City who are preparing to escape. Isn't this also a lack of trust in the 3 big forces? I think that we should not reveal this matter. Let the world know that our failure was not absolutely due to the incompetence of the 3 big forces, but because of this person. Lin Xian paused and continued, right now, the world thinks that the 3 big forces do not have the ability to protect the people. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many deaths. If this matter was revealed, everyone would only worry that there was a traitor in the 3 big forces. However, they would still think that they had the ability to protect everyone. Between these 2 choices, I think the latter is the best. Then why not choose the latter? We can increase the investigation of the traitor and let the people see our sincerity. This can make up for this. Then, we can bring Wang Jichao in front of the world and publicly announce his punishment. Isn't that good? Chapter 212. Hearing Lin Xian's words, everyone looked at each other, as if they were thinking about the pros and cons of Lin Xian's words. Thinking about it carefully, they realized that Lin Xian's words did make sense. Previously, they only cared about the image of the 3 major factions in the eyes of the people. However, after Lin Xian's words, they realized that even if they hid this news, the 3 major factions' ability in the eyes of the people would be greatly reduced. Then why not tell the truth? This way, most of the attention would be focused on Wang Jichao. This wasn't shirking responsibility, but Wang Jichao was a sinner for all eternity. Yeah. Why don't we let the families of those who were killed by Wang Jichao have the right to decide? Someone suddenly said. Lu Wui shook his head. That's not right. I agree with what Lin Xian said, but forget about what Commander Huang said. Although they all want to kill this person, and although he deserves to die, wouldn't this cause unnecessary panic? Lin Xian said, Mr. Lu, I actually think that Commander Huang's words make sense. We don't have to consider the issue of humanity when dealing with Wang Jichao. He has already been deprived of this right, and so many people have died in his hands. Letting their families vent their anger will also help them vent. Lu Wui looked at Lin Xian and asked, Do you think this is a good idea? Lin Xian nodded. Compared to everyone here, I'm just an ordinary citizen. From the perspective of the people, especially the families of the martial artists who were killed, I hope that we can use the solution I just mentioned to Commander Huang. That's good. Commander Qin, I'll have to trouble you to immediately spread the news to Tianhua City and the nearby major cities. In 4 hours, Wang Jichao's execution will be held in Tianhua City's Tianhua Plaza. Yes. Qin Feng saluted and prepared to leave. Then, he looked at Lin Xian and asked, Do you want to come with me? Lu Wui said, Let Lin Xian stay here first. When the time comes, He will join us in the execution ceremony.
All right.
Under normal circumstances, the public execution of a sinner was not allowed because it was inhumane. Moreover, although this era was chaotic, many people had not experienced massacres, battles, or even seen human corpses, let alone witnessing a person's death with their own eyes. This would cause panic. This was what Lu Wui was worried about at the beginning, but compared to giving an explanation to the people, this seemed to be nothing.
Lin Xian, do you want to talk to him?
Zhongnan walked over and asked Lin Xian.
Me?
What do I have to say to him? We communicated with him, Zhongnan said. We tried to get the information about his connection with the 10,000 Demon Alliance, or rather, if there were any operations of the 10,000 Demon Alliance or such traitors among the information he knew, but he did not say anything. At that time, he was your leader, and you found evidence against him.
Maybe you can give it a try. Is it safe?
Lin Xian asked with a smile.
Zhongnan laughed.
It's safe. All right, I'll go taunt him. Everyone, click. A metal wall slowly opened.
It's inside. Go in.
Lin Xian walked in slowly. The others stayed outside and looked at the big screen outside. Lin Xian came in front of Wang Jichao. He sat on the chair and looked at him. How have you been? Lin Xian sneered. Wang Jichao heard the voice and slowly opened his eyes. Lin Xian. When he saw Lin Xian, he was very agitated and his eyes were filled with anger. He really didn't expect that he would actually be destroyed in the hands of a small fry. He hated it. You hate me, don't you? Lin Xian stared at Wang Jichao mockingly. Ha 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 ha, Wang Jichao laughed, but this laughter was probably self-deprecating. Damn it! I actually got screwed over by a nobody. Ha ha ha. Nobody? Lin Xian tapped his fingers rhythmically on the table in front of him and muttered to himself. Well, you can say that. But you're still a nobody. Ha ha ha, but I personally made 20,000 people die with me. Even if I can't go down in history, I can go down in infamy for 10,000 years. Ha ha ha, it's worth it. Wang Jichao laughed crazily. He was calm when he met other people, but when he met Lin Xian, he could not calm down. Sorry, you can't go down in infamy for 10,000 years. Do you know what we're going to do next? Kill me or torture me as you wish. No, no, no. We're going to drag you to the public square of Tianhua City and expose you to the sun. Then, we'll let tens of thousands of people see your ugly face. We'll let you spend your days in curses. Then, you'll be beaten to death by the families of the people you killed. Don't worry, you can enjoy the process because it might take a long time to finish. Wang Jichao's pupils shrank and he sneered. So what? I'm just going there a little earlier than you. It won't be long before all of you have to come down and accompany me. Lin Xian shook his head inwardly. He was indeed a lunatic. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done such a thing. Warriors who betrayed humans might seem normal, but their hearts must have been twisted. For the sake of strength, they might only be willing to sacrifice a little. Do you want to kill me with your own hands? Lin Xian looked at him and asked. Wang Jichao did not react. I can give you a chance. As long as you tell me any useful information about the Myriad Demon Alliance, I'll give you a chance to PK with me. As for whether you can kill me, that depends on your ability. Lin Xian probed. Of course, he knew that he would not get any information. Really? Wang Jichao calmed down and looked at Lin Xian. Really? Alright, let me go first. I'll duel with you first. No matter the result, I'll tell you everything I know. Tisk, Lin Xian sneered. Tell me first, then we'll duel. How do I know if you'll fulfill your promise? Wang Jichao glared at Lin Xian. Because you don't have a choice. This is your only chance to kill me. Kill the person you hate the most. Kill the person who caused you to become like this. Lin Xian sneered. Wang Jichao hesitated for more than 10 seconds, then gritted his teeth. Alright, I hope you can keep your promise like a man. After a pause, Wang Jichao said, the Myriad Demon Alliance will attack Tianhua City at the end of this month. Is this information important enough? Ha ha ha, Lin Xian laughed loudly. What are you laughing at? I suddenly realized that you're just a lackey in the eyes of the Myriad Demon Alliance. You're not even a servant. How can you know about the Myriad Demon Alliance? Chapter 213. That's right. Wang Jichao really didn't know. Not to mention something as secretive as attacking a city. He was just lying to Lin Xian. What if he succeeded? Then you don't know my position in the hearts of the Myriad Demon Alliance's experts. Position in their hearts? You're just a pile of shit in their eyes. F*CKU. Lin Xian continued to sneer. I'm afraid you don't even know the name of the demonic beast you're dealing with, and you still want to know their secrets? What a joke. I'm so stupid to ask you such a question. You, Wang Jichao, think that you're extraordinary. But when you think about how you groveled in front of the demonic beast, even I feel ashamed for you. You don't even know the name of the demonic beast or its true form. How could you know anything about the Myriad Demon Alliance? Just pretend I didn't say anything. Trash. You still have 4 hours. After saying that, Lin Xian turned around and was about to leave. F*CKU. I know the secrets of the Myriad Demon Alliance. Wang Jichao cursed. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows with his back facing him. He then pretended to pause and sighed softly. You know nothing. Stop pretending. Don't you know what kind of trash you are in the eyes of the Myriad Demon Alliance? F*CKU. I know that a Void Fox has come to the Myriad Demon Alliance. He's a heavenly venerable, and the Myriad Demon Alliance told me about it. What do you think my position in the Myriad Demon Alliance's eyes? When Wang Jichao said those words to Shi Laji, he immediately regretted it. He fell into a trap. Lin Xian's lips curled. Although he couldn't be 100% sure of the truth of that sentence, combined with what Qinlan said earlier, it was basically certain. Lin Xian was obviously trying to goad Wang Jichao. Wang Jichao did not think that he would succeed. Perhaps it was because what Lin Xian said was true, and it was also something that Wang Jichao cared about. He was actually a person who cared about his reputation, so he subconsciously said it. It was not the Myriad Demon Alliance who told him that, but a piece of information that was accidentally revealed. However, for the previous Wang Jichao, since he had chosen to betray the Myriad Demon Alliance, naturally, he would not tell the humans. Your status is still a pile of shit. Lin Xian was about to walk away after saying that. Wait. Didn't you agree to a duel with me? Wang Jichao shouted at Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered, I'm sorry, but I'm not a gentleman. When I make a promise to someone, I choose to honor it or not depending on my mood. Now that you've scolded me, I'm in a bad mood, so I won't honor it. When the people outside heard Lin Xian's words, they couldn't help but twitch their lips. It was a little despicable. You? Wang Jichao gritted his teeth and said angrily, Despicable. Ha ha ha, thank you, but I've never thought of myself as noble. Then, Lin Xian walked out, followed by Wang Jichao's roar. After the door closed, Lin Xian glanced at the crowd and said, What he said just now should be true. The Void Fox? Lu Wui frowned and said, We also found out about this, but we can't confirm it. Wang Jichao also knows about this. After all, he's a high-ranking member of the trial union, so we can't confirm whether what he said is true or false. Lin Xian, under the circumstances just now, I think it's quite believable. In addition, we also found out that there's such a possibility, so... Yes, a heavenly venerable Void Fox. This is going to be difficult. 4 hours later, they tied Wang Jichao up in a cart that was similar to the ancient execution grounds and came to Tianhua Square. At this moment, there were no less than tens of thousands of people gathered in Tianhua Square. Although this news had only been spread for 4 hours, the attention it received was extremely high. In addition, there were many people who died in that tragedy. Their families even put down their work to come and see this. Seeing so many people, Lin Xian sighed slightly. However, he didn't walk together with the three major forces. Then, he casually walked into the crowd and watched the scene in front of him. Everyone looked at the prisoner Wang Jichao with resentful expressions. Lu Wui and the experts of the three major forces stood at the side and glanced at the crowd. Then, Lu Wui channeled his spiritual power into his voice so that it could be heard very far. "Everyone, please be quiet." Lu Wui then said, "Previously, our country implemented a plan. That was to have the experts of the three major forces lead everyone to the demonic beast territory for training. First, we could eliminate the demonic beasts on a large scale. Second, we could also increase everyone's strength. However, this plan failed." Lu Wui sighed and continued, "This time, more than 50,000 people went out and more than 20,000 died. This number is very exaggerated. For this, the three major forces and China are willing to bear all the responsibility. However, I believe that everyone didn't know the truth before this. Now, you know that it's because of this that you're here. What I want to tell everyone is that our three major forces will do our best to protect the areas where humans live. However, it's inevitable that there will be some beasts that betray humans. This operation failed not because our plan failed, but because there was a Thunder Tribulation realm trader in the trial union. It was him, Wang Jichao. He leaked the plan to the demonic beast race and caused the mission to fail. Everyone, we don't want to shirk the responsibility. Even if he died, those who died in vain would not be able to come back. However, perhaps this will give everyone some comfort. What I want to say next is that the three major forces in China will do their best to protect everyone, protect us humans, and even take back the territory that belongs to us. At the same time, we will increase the investigation of the three major forces and find out anyone with evil intentions. In addition, we will not cancel this plan just because of the first failure. This is because only in this way can we increase the strength of everyone and have more ability to fight against the demonic beast race. Finally, after a discussion between China and the three major forces, we've decided to hand this person over to the public. Whether he's dead or alive, everyone can hurt him with their own hands. I hope that no one will kill him. No, at least let everyone hurt this beast with their own hands so that everyone can vent their anger. Although it's a little cruel, it's not worth mentioning compared to the crimes he committed. Kill him. Kill him. Avenge our family. Avenge us humans. In an instant, the crowd was furious. After that, the people from the three major forces spread out and stood guard at the side. The crowd rushed over with all kinds of things in their hands, including their shoes, cosmetics in their bags, and even their mobile phones, and threw them at Wang Jichao, who was in the prison car. Lin Xian sighed softly. When would the world be peaceful? Suddenly, his gaze fell on a figure not far away. Chapter 214. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Wang Xintong's delicate body trembled, but she really turned around, using Lin Xian's arm as a pillow, burrowing into Lin Xian's embrace like a little kitten curled up in Lin Xian's embrace. Feeling Wang Xintong's tense body and trembling appearance, Lin Xian knew just how nervous she was. She had never kissed a boy before, and in her memories, other than her brother, she had never held hands with any other boy before, but now they were sleeping together. But it gave her a sense of security. Go to sleep, I'll take you to see your teacher tomorrow. Lin Xian said softly, then lightly touched her red lips. Ding! Kissing a non-girlfriend big sister. Scumbag value plus 800,000. Wang Xintong was slightly stunned. He was going to sleep? Wasn't he going to do something to her? She was even prepared to use her body to repay Lin Xian's kindness. Lin Xian also wanted to. Under normal circumstances, he would have already done it, but Wang Xintong's condition wasn't good. If he did it with her, it would feel weird, and Lin Xian wouldn't be happy either. Then why not wait for a better opportunity later? Last time, Wang Xintong's mission reward was Wan Xie. Lin Xian didn't have time to check it, but since it was a spiritual weapon, it should be of great help to him. But he wasn't in a hurry. Wang Xintong blinked her large eyes in the dark night, looking at Lin Xian in shock. Was he really not just doing it for her body? If it was just for her body, Lin Xian would have already done it with her, but he didn't. Wang Xintong murmured in her sleep, then burrowed into Lin Xian's embrace, and even relaxed a lot. Ding! Wang Xintong's favorability towards you +3. Wang Xintong's affinity with Lin Xian had reached 70 points. This 70 points of favorability was almost catching up to Ling Ying. Ling Ying only had 80 points of favorability right now. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes and saw Wang Xintong looking at him with her big eyes. When Wang Xintong saw Lin Xian looking over, she blushed and quickly turned her head away. Hee. Lin Xian smirked and pressed her under his body. What are you doing? Don't move. It's itchy. Wang Xintong pouted. Then, she was tickled by Lin Xian and laughed. This was the first time that Lin Xian saw Wang Xintong laugh in the past few days. The two of them were tired and lay on the bed panting. Wang Xintong was pulled into Lin Xian's embrace. Tong Tong, be my girlfriend. Lin Xian caressed Wang Xintong's face and said, I want to protect you. Wang Xintong raised her head and looked at Lin Xian. She and Lin Xian looked at each other for a few seconds, then lowered her head. No, I want to become stronger. You're already at the 8 stars of the arcane body realm. In terms of rank, you're stronger than me. What you lack is fighting ability and martial skills, but it's enough. Moreover, becoming stronger doesn't conflict with being my girlfriend. Lin Xian looked at Wang Xintong and said, although Wang Xintong was at the 8 stars of the arcane body realm, she might not even be able to defeat a 4 stars of the arcane body realm. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Wang Xintong was actually quite moved. In the past few days, her impression of Lin Xian had completely changed. Moreover, she had fallen for him, right? They had even slept together and kissed, but... Don't you like Yi? Wang Xintong mumbled softly. But I like you more. Ding, using sweet words to coax a big sister is considered a scumbag behavior. Scumbag value plus 50,000. Lin Xian. Although Wang Xintong felt that Lin Xian was going against his heart, she was still quite happy to hear this. No, go find Yi. Lin Xian's lips curled. No, right? Then don't even think about getting out of bed today. Wang Xintong glared at Lin Xian, then snorted. Lin Xian then turned around and pressed her down on the bed, then looked down at Wang Xintong. Wang Xintong's little face blushed. She looked at Lin Xian with her big eyes, then slowly closed her eyes. Lin Xian laughed in his heart, then kissed her. Last night, it was just a light peck, now it was a real kiss. 5 minutes later, Lin Xian let go of the blushing Wang Xintong. Be my girlfriend. Lin Xian lightly scratched her delicate nose. N. Wang Xintong bit her red lips, then shyly said, N. Ding. Confession successful. Mission completed. Mission reward, Royal Wings, has been issued. Ding. 2 timing is the ultimate behavior of a scumbag. Scumbag value plus 5 million. Ding. Confession successful. The system has given Wang Xintong level increased by 2 stars, 10% whiteness. Confirm use on target? Lin Xian thought for a moment, then replied, only whitening. If he directly leveled up Wang Xintong, she would be shocked. Moreover, Lin Xian felt that Wang Xintong's level was already increasing fast enough. Randomly leveling up by 2 stars might not be a good thing. She needed to level up in a real battle to truly improve herself. Wan Xie and the Royal Wings directly appeared in the God's Child system. Simply put, the God's Child system was like a character panel in an online game. Other than the character's stats, there was also some space, such as the location of various spiritual equipment. In other words, such spiritual equipment could be stored in the God's Child system and used at any time without a spatial ring. Simply put, there was also a space in the God's Child system. However, the space was very small and could only store a few essential spiritual equipment. Let go of me. Wang Xintong shyly struggled under Lin Xian's body, then Lin Xian released her in satisfaction. I'll go wash up, then I'll make breakfast for you. After saying that, Wang Xintong shyly ran out. Lin Xian comfortably lay on the bed. He had 2 girlfriends. This was truly too timing. Who would have thought that Lin Xian would walk deeper and deeper into the path of being a scumbag? But it had to be said, the feeling of being a scumbag was really good. Lin Xian was also quite surprised. He did not think that he would be able to take down Wang Xintong so quickly. Next would be Lu Yufan. Next would be Xiao Runing. As for Yi Yi, Lin Xian felt that Yi Yi would definitely trigger the confession mission, but it had not been triggered yet. Perhaps she was lacking an opportunity. Ling Ying triggered it because he had sex with her. Lin Xian did not know. Xiao Runing did not seem to have triggered the confession mission yet. Lu Yufan triggered it because Lin Xian stood up for her. Wang Xintong triggered it because of her brother's matter. Miao Xiao Miao. Lin Xian had forgotten about it, but this Miao Xiao Miao's confession mission gave Lin Xian a headache. She was too young. F***ck, how could he bear to do it? Fortunately, Miao Xiao Miao was more mature and did not have the mentality of a real loli. Otherwise, Lin Xian would feel even more guilty. Chapter 215. Now there was a very serious problem, and that was Miao Xiao Miao's confession mission. Lin Xian looked again. Confession successful. Miao Xiao Miao. Mission penalty. All attributes -100. Mission reward. Heaven class 10-star skill. Carefree world. Current favorability 55. Note: when favorability reaches 50, there is a chance of a successful confession. The higher the favorability, the higher the chance. Mission duration 1 month. That was the mission. Most importantly, there was a F***king mission penalty. All attributes reduced by 100. What kind of concept was that? That would be useless. But the reward was also very exaggerated, a heaven class 10-star skill. But there was bad news, the mission duration was 1 month. In other words, there was still half a month left. In half a month, if Lin Xian did not take Miao Xiao Miao down, his attributes would... Lin Xian scratched his head. It was worrying. Why did there have to be a mission penalty? So in this half a month, Miao Xiao Miao would definitely be Lin Xian's main target. 55 favorability, he could confess. But Lin Xian felt that the success rate was less than 10% for Miao Xiao Miao. So sometimes, an opportunity was very important. For example, Wang Xintong, Lin Xian moved her, that was the opportunity to confess. But for Miao Xiao Miao, if Lin Xian rushed over to confess, it would be impossible to succeed. Sigh. Just go with the flow. Lin Xian sighed. Then, he stretched out his hand and Wan Xie appeared in his palm. This Wan Xie, Lin Xian only noticed what kind of spiritual weapon it was today. It was a sword. To be precise, it was not a light sword, but a heavy sword. Light swords were generally 6 to 8 centimeters wide, but this heavy sword was close to 20 centimeters wide. It was completely black, and the body of the sword was surrounded by a strange light. It gave off a very evil feeling. This sword, Lin Xian swung the Dragon Rain sword and compared it to Wan Xie. The feeling was like heaven and earth. He felt that Wan Xie was very heavy. It could even split a person in half with one slash. It felt great. However, a light sword and a heavy sword each had their own advantages. The former was light, while the latter was powerful. Lin Xian felt that it didn't matter which one he used, because he liked them all. Then, Lin Xian looked at Wan Xie's attributes and was shocked. Myriad evils. Grade. Earth rank 5-star. A spiritual weapon made from meteorite crystals from outer space. It is incomparably hard and extremely powerful. It can greatly increase the user's battle prowess. It contains a power similar to the dark element. When released, the user will enter a shadowy state. Any attack will be accompanied by the power of the dark element. At night, it will absorb the power of the dark element to recharge. After recharging, the user can remain in the shadowy state for a maximum of 10 minutes. It can evolve, but evolution requires the absorption of dark elemental energy. This was Wan Xie. When Lin Xian saw the Earth stage 5 stars, it was within his expectations. The scumbag system's rewards for Lin Xian were all good stuff. None of them were lower than Earth rank. Furthermore, an Earth-ranked spirit artifact would greatly increase Lin Xian's battle prowess. If the Dragon Rain Sword could increase his battle prowess by 20%, then this Wan Xie could increase his battle prowess by 60%. This was the importance of a spirit artifact. If two people had the same attributes and martial skills, and one had an Earth-ranked spirit artifact while the other had an Earth-ranked spirit artifact, the latter would definitely win. What surprised Lin Xian was that Wan Xie actually had a shadowy state. And in the shadowy state, it could cut through the defensive Qi barrier. The defensive Qi barrier was formed when a martial artist released a spirit artifact to wrap around nature, creating a barrier that could block attacks. However, Wan Xie could directly cut through the defensive Qi barrier, causing the opponent to be unable to form a defense. This would definitely catch the opponent off guard. However, Lin Xian wasn't sure how strong Wan Xie could cut through the defensive Qi barrier, but it should be able to cut through the defensive Qi barrier if it was slightly stronger than him. This was an Earth Stage 5-star spirit artifact. And there was another thing that surprised Lin Xian. This Wan Xie could still evolve. If it could evolve by absorbing the power of the dark element, then it would increase its grade. That was equivalent to Lin Xian using Wan Xie for a very long time. Lin Xian looked at the bewitching reddish-black Wan Xie. This color was the most unbearable for Lin Xian. It was the most handsome color. It was like a dark alloy, just like the color of the Destruction series in a game that Lin Xian played before. It was so handsome. This is... Lin Xian looked at Wan Xie. There was a button at the hilt. This sword has a button? Then, Lin Xian tried pressing it. Ka. What the F***ck? Lin Xian looked at Wan Xie with his mouth wide open. This Wan Xie changed shape after pressing the button. In a flash, it turned into a light sword. What the F***ck? Lin Xian held Wan Xie again. This Wan Xie could actually switch between a light sword and a heavy sword. This was simply too wonderful. This was definitely an unexpected gain. Wang Xintong took a look at the door after washing up. What spiritual weapon is this? It's so handsome. Wang Xintong could not help but exclaim. This color and appearance were really handsome. There's something even more handsome. Look. Then, Lin Xian pressed it again and it turned into a heavy sword again. Wang Xintong's mouth opened slightly. So powerful. Wang Xintong exclaimed. Shua. Then, Lin Xian kept Wan Xie. Then, he picked up the Dragon Rain Sword. You don't have a spiritual weapon yet, right? This is the Dragon Rain Sword that Miss Xiao gave me. It's a yellow rank 8-star sword. It's not bad and it happens to be a light sword. It should be suitable for both men and women. This is for you. Lin Xian handed it to Wang Xintong. I don't want it. Lin Xian smiled and placed it in her hand, saying, I have a new spiritual weapon now, so I don't need this. You are my wife. If I don't give it to you, who else can I give it to? Who's your wife? Shameless. Wang Xintong rolled her eyes at Lin Xian, but her heart was filled with sweetness. Take it. I'm going to wash up. Then, Lin Xian went to the bathroom. Wang Xintong looked at the Dragon Rain Sword and waved it a few times, feeling very satisfied. Thank you. Wang Xintong's voice sounded. Don't say thank you. Just wash up and wait for me tonight. Bastard. Wang Xintong scolded angrily. Then, she put away the Dragon Rain Sword and went to make breakfast for Lin Xian. After washing up, Lin Xian sat in the living room and took out the royal wings. To be precise, the royal wings wasn't taken out. Instead, it directly appeared behind Lin Xian's back. This wasn't a spiritual weapon. No, this wasn't a spiritual weapon in the conventional sense. After Lin Xian obtained the royal wings, it was as if it could grow out of his body. Moreover, he couldn't even take it off. He could only use his spiritual power to retrieve it. In other words, Lin Xian couldn't give it to others even if he wanted to. Looking at the mirror, the royal wings was made of light. It wasn't a real pair of wings. It was light black, and it even looked a little transparent. Wings of light. Royal wings. Grade. Heaven rank 10 stars. Type. Flying spiritual weapon. A special spiritual weapon implanted with a special gene. After implantation, it can be released at any time. It can be driven by spiritual power to fly. The flying speed and altitude are related to the user's strength. When flying with the royal wings, the user's speed will increase by at least 100%. When the user's speed reaches the limit, the user can enter stealth mode. When the user's speed exceeds the limit, the stealth mode will disappear. The user can evolve. The evolution conditions are unknown. Chapter 216. Lin Xian was shocked. Wait a minute. Heaven rank 10-star spiritual weapon? Heaven rank 10-star? What kind of concept was that? As of now, Lin Xian didn't have any heaven rank items on him. He didn't even know how strong a heaven rank item was. Flying spiritual weapons were very rare, but heaven rank 10-star was a bit exaggerated, right? The only thing that surprised Lin Xian about the Imperial Wings was that it was different from ordinary spirit tools. It was actually a type of spirit tool that grew inside the martial artist's body. However, this shouldn't be enough to reach the heaven rank 10-star level. The flying speed and height were determined by the user's strength, and the consumption was also based on the user's spiritual power. Lin Xian wasn't sure how long he could fly or how fast he could reach. However, by releasing the wings of the heavens, he would be able to increase his speed by at least 100%. This wasn't too surprising, as most air transportation spiritual artifacts would increase their speed. But another point was that when the speed reached the limit, the user would enter a state of invisibility. This was a good thing. Invisibility. If he flew at the limit of his speed while escaping and then entered the state of invisibility, then it would be difficult for the pursuers to find him. But if this was a heaven rank 10-star, then Lin Xian was a little disappointed. But fortunately, the Imperial Wings could evolve, but the evolution conditions were unknown. But no matter what, this was a spiritual weapon that he had obtained without paying any price. Lin Xian also believed that heaven rank 10-star wouldn't be ranked like this for no reason. The Imperial Wings would definitely be worthy of this grade. It was just that Lin Xian hadn't discovered the stronger parts of the Imperial Wings yet. With a thought, Lin Xian put away the Imperial Wings, and the flowing light behind him disappeared. In this way, Lin Xian's improvement was huge. It could fly, and at the same time, he had an Earth rank 5-star spirit weapon that could transform into a heavy sword and a light sword. At the same time, it also had the shadow transformation effect. These two spirit weapons naturally gave Lin Xian a lot of improvements. Phew! Lin Xian lay on the sofa and thought about some things. He needed to quickly increase his level, and at the same time, the more urgent thing was to capture Miao Xiaomiao. But there was another mission that gave Lin Xian a headache. It was related to the shifter girl he had done that night. The mission she triggered had a time limit of 3 months, but Lin Xian didn't care about that. What he cared about was the punishment. Level 0. In other words, within 3 months, if Lin Xian could not make that woman his girlfriend, then no matter how strong Lin Xian was, he would become a Qi building stage 0 rank cultivator. No, that would no longer be called a Qi building stage cultivator, but an ordinary person who could not be more ordinary. What should I do? Lin Xian scratched his head. He was going crazy. Most importantly, it would be great if that woman was more ordinary. However, she was a demon, and her cultivation level was at least at the celestial venerable realm. Thirdly, her personality was cold and noble. This kind of woman was the hardest to conquer. Fourthly, she already had thoughts of killing Lin Xian. How could she possibly be his girlfriend? Fifth, Lin Xian couldn't find her even if he wanted to. This was so infuriating. System miss. Can you cancel my mission? System. Hey, say something. System. You're definitely pretending not to hear me. System. Yes. Lin Xian. Miss, I know you're a system, but you're absolutely beautiful. I can't complete that mission. Can you cancel it? This was because Lin Xian had discussed this with the system lady before. Regarding the mission of abandoning Ling Ying, they really did come to an agreement. Therefore, Lin Xian felt that there was still room for discussion. Any triggered mission has a possibility of being completed. Lin Xian. Damn. I know that, but for me now, even if I can complete it, the possibility is close to 0. How can I complete it? Can you bear to see me level 0? Answer the host. If you can't complete it, then you don't have the qualifications to be the master of the scumbag system. The system will find another host. Lin Xian. Damn Lin Yang. Ding. Matching language library. Matching complete. Gon Lin Yang and F***CK Yunyang have been matched. Detecting host's cursing system. Please retract your comments. Lin Xian. What a joke. Damn. You're awesome. I'll take them back. Lin Xian said exasperatedly. Soon, Wang Xintong walked out and looked at Lin Xian. She said softly, "Breakfast is ready." Coming. Lin Xian rushed over and pinched Wang Xintong's perky butt, making Wang Xintong roll her eyes. In the past, they couldn't, but now they were a couple and had slept together. Although they didn't do anything, since Wang Xintong had promised Lin Xian, she knew that she had to fulfill her duty as a girlfriend while becoming stronger. Lin Xian didn't understand. It was said that girls nowadays were all vases who didn't know how to do housework or cook. However, the girls Lin Xian met were all good cooks. Naturally, housework was needless to say. The teacher I'm bringing you to is the one we met yesterday. He's the commander of Tianhua City and should be at the Domain Realm. He can be of great help to you. Domain Realm. Isn't that too powerful? I'm afraid. Wang Xintong looked at Lin Xian worriedly. She was afraid that she was too stupid. Lin Xian must have paid a huge price to find such a powerful person to teach her. Actually, Lin Xian only owed Lin Xian a favor, but it didn't count because Qin Feng also owed Lin Xian a favor. Lin Xian smiled and pinched Wang Xintong's pink cheeks. He smiled and said, "It's okay. He has a good relationship with me and is an upright person. As long as you listen to him and learn all kinds of sword techniques and martial techniques, he will like you. It mainly depends on your hard work." "I will work hard." Wang Xintong secretly clenched her fists. "But he's the commander. He's usually busy so he can't accompany you sometimes. However, he will find other people to teach you. If it really doesn't work, you can find me. I can also teach you, but I'm not sure if I can teach you better than them." Lin Xian's sword techniques, and combat experience were mostly learned in his previous life. They were all Chinese kung fu and were very different from Planet Aqua Blue. However, Lin Xian wasn't sure if China's kung fu or Planet Aqua Blue's Domain Realm Qin Feng was better. Of course, Lin Xian was more inclined towards Chinese kung fu. Right now, Wang Xintong's realm was enough. She needed to make up for her lack of combat experience. Martial techniques. He believed that with Qin Feng's means, he wouldn't mistreat Wang Xintong. Lin Xian was also looking forward to the birth of a strong female warrior in the future. After the meal, Lin Xian brought Wang Xintong to the outside of the sacred palace. This time, Lin Xian flashed his deputy commander badge. No one stopped him and he went straight in. However, those people seemed to be very surprised. Chapter 217. Naturally, Qin Feng had informed his subordinates that a young deputy commander would be coming to the holy sanctum. However, he did not expect the deputy commander to be so young. However, some of them recognized Lin Xian because they were part of the operation that night. In other words, Lin Xian had saved their lives. They arrived at the room where they had met Qin Feng and knocked on the door. Lin Xian led Wang Xintong in. Wang Xintong was very nervous because she knew that the person she was about to meet was a domain realm expert. "Uncle Qin." Lin Xian saw Qin Feng and greeted him with a smile. "You're here. Have a seat." Qin Feng smiled when he saw the two of them holding hands. Lin Xian sat down casually while Wang Xintong was still very nervous. "Uncle Qin, this is my girlfriend, Wang Xintong." About the thing that I've troubled you with." Lin Xian scratched his head and said, "Of course." Qin Feng's gaze landed on Wang Xintong. He could not see her clearly when they were at the plaza. Now that he was looking at her up close, he could see that she was indeed a beautiful girl. "Come, little girl. Release your 2 attributes first. Let me see how they are." Wang Xintong nodded lightly and released her water and light attributes. Qin Feng sensed it and nodded. "Not bad. The water attribute is relatively normal. However, your light attribute is much purer than normal. Plus, light is a rare attribute. So, I will focus on guiding your light attribute cultivation." "Thank you, Commander Qin," Wang Xintong said gratefully. Lin Xian smiled and said, "Call me Uncle Qin." Uncle Qin." Actually, Lin Xian's intention was very simple. The closer they were, the better their relationship would be. Ha ha ha. "Alright, we'll call you that. Follow me to the Holy Sanctum's Hall. I'll bring you to complete your information." "Lin Xian, what about you?" Lin Xian said, "Coincidentally, I also have something to do. Uncle Qin, I'll leave Tong Tong to you." "Don't worry. For the next 2 days, I will push aside some matters and teach this girl well. Since she wants to become stronger, she can even put it into action. This is a very rare quality for young people nowadays. Go ahead." Wang Xintong glanced at Lin Xian and whispered, "Then I'll go with Uncle Qin first." "Yes." After that, Lin Xian left the sacred palace. He had 3 ideas when he left the sacred palace. One was to look for Linya. He had not been intimate with her for the past 2 days and felt that he had neglected her. 2 was to look for Miao Xiaomiao and see if he could improve the progress of the mission to conquer her. 2 was to go to the Sky Martial Court because there was still a mission to conquer Lu Yufan that could be completed more easily. In the end, Lin Xian chose the Sky Martial Court. However, before that, Lin Xian had a phone call with Linya. The general content of the call was to tease her and remind Linya to bring the icy snow pearl. When he arrived at the Sky Martial Court's Class 10, there were not many people today. They were probably training. The 2 girls were also training. Lin Xian then went to the villa of the advanced class to look for Ling Ying. Ling Ying was the only one in the villa. Han Chuxue did not even come to the Sky Martial Court today. After spending more than an hour with Ling Ying, Lin Xian received a message from Lin Xian. Then, Lin Xian went to Class 10. Brother Xian. When Wang Fugue saw Lin Xian, he immediately jumped toward Lin Xian and hugged him. F***ck. Lin Xian pushed him away. Then, his eyes lit up when he saw Wang Fugue. "Yo, why do I feel like you've lost a lot of weight?" Lin Xian said with a smile. He. Wang Fugue scratched his head and said with a smile, "Of course. I've been dieting and exercising these days. Of course, I've lost weight. Don't tell me that's why you called me here so excitedly?" Lin Xian walked into the class and sat down. He, of course not. I just wanted to tell Brother Xian that I confessed to Junjun not long ago. She said yes to me. Wahahaha. Oh. Lin Xian raised an eyebrow and took a sip of water. He smiled and said, "Sure, but you can't give up on losing weight just because you confessed successfully." He, of course. Then, Wang Fugue told Lin Xian about the things that had happened in the past few days. Lin Xian. When Lu Yufan came in and saw Lin Xian, she ran over happily. "Where's Yi?" Lin Xian asked in surprise. Lu Yufan was with Yi every day. It was strange that Yi was nowhere to be seen. She just finished training. Yi went home to prepare for the banquet. Tonight is her birthday party. Yi's parents invited a lot of people. All right. Lin Xian slapped his forehead. If Lu Yufan didn't mention it, Lin Xian would have almost forgotten about Yi's birthday party. Alright, I'm going to Sister Yi's birthday party too. I'll bring Jun with me. Hee hee. Wang Fuguei scratched his head and smiled. Lin Xian, what are you going to give Yi for her birthday? Lu Yufan asked expectantly. Lin Xian tilted his head and thought for a moment. I don't know. It doesn't matter if the gift is expensive or cheap. How about I give her a deep kiss? Lin Xian said with a smile. Lu Yufan rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. What are you going to give her? Lin Xian asked curiously. Oh, it's just a cloth doll. However, there are 999 paper cranes that I personally made in it. Hee hee, but don't tell Yi. It had to be said that the relationship between the two of them was really good. 999 paper cranes. How long would it take to fold them? This was much better than buying things with money. Alright, I celebrated my birthday a while ago. Do you want to give me a gift? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Lu Yufan blinked her big eyes and asked, What do you want? Lin Xian pointed to his lips and said, I want a kiss from you. Wang Fuguei secretly gave Lin Xian a thumbs up. As expected of a Casanova, he could talk about this kind of topic with a girl just by raising his hand. Then Brother Xian, Sister Fan Fan, I'll go back first. Wang Fuguei said with a special look. Then, he said to the remaining dozen people in Class 10, Everyone, come out with me. I'll give out the money. Everyone gets 10,000 yuan. First come first serve. Then, the group of people was led out by Wang Fuguei. He even closed the door behind him. Only Lin Xian and Lu Yufan were left in the classroom. What the hell? Lu Yufan mumbled. Then, she looked at Lin Xian with a red face. Pay. Who wants to kiss you? Hooligan. Lin Xian laughed. It's not like you haven't kissed me before. Ah, don't say it. Lu Yufan went crazy. Then, she wanted to give Lin Xian a punch. However, Lin Xian grabbed her wrist. This was a rare opportunity for him to be alone with Lu Yufan. Wang Fuguei helped him. Lin Xian was thinking, why don't I just take her down now? Looking at Lu Yufan's red face, Lin Xian really wanted to kiss her. This girl was indeed a beautiful girl. The arcane body realm had 10 stars, the arcane heaven realm had 10 stars, and the thunder tribulation realm had 10 stars. In the future, Lin Xian could directly use the heavenly star fruit to break through these 3 major realms. It would be ineffective if he broke through to the domain realm. However, there might be a third store. However, even though this heavenly star fruit was heaven-defying, the price of each purchase would double. In other words, the 5th pill would cost 16 million. Lin Xian needed 3 pills, but he didn't have many left for his women. Because the consumption of scum man points might be too high. However, that might not be the case. It would depend on the effect of obtaining scum man points in the future. However, the effect of this heavenly star fruit was a pleasant surprise for Lin Xian. The amount of experience points required to break through to the arcane body realm by 1 star to the arcane heaven realm was already ridiculous, let alone breaking through to the lower realm. However, this fruit could solve the problem. After that, Lin Xian looked at the second item for sale. Obedient water. Spray it at a person of the opposite sex, regardless of their level or realm. Can make them obey your orders for at least 10 seconds. Price 300,000. Lin Xian. F*CK. It's this thing again. What do I need this thing for? A J-fan? F*CK. I can't do it. However, on second thought, if he met an enemy of the opposite sex, this thing seemed to be able to save his life, just like the demon race woman from before. However, this obedient water should be different from the spray from before. It should be the obedient water spray. Attribute increasing potion. An extremely rare potion. After consumption, it can increase the purity of a martial artist's attributes by 10% to 30%. Can be used at most once per person. Price 500,000. F*CK. There's actually such a good thing. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Attribute purity was very important. During the Sky Martial Court's examination, they had tested the attribute purity. If it exceeded the standard by 10%, it would be very impressive. However, this potion could actually increase the purity by 30%. This attribute purity was directly reflected in one's strength. For example, if two martial artists of the same attribute, strength, and realm were to compare the strength of the lightning released by them, the one with the higher purity would be able to deal more damage. For example, the higher the purity of the wood element, the better the healing effect. If such an item were to be sold on the market, it would be conservatively estimated to be worth more than 1 billion. Moreover, it was priceless. This was because it was basically impossible to increase one's purity through something similar to technology. There was only one way for a martial artist to increase their attribute purity, and that was to absorb the energy of the corresponding attribute. Moreover, it had to be a heaven and earth spiritual treasure with high purity. However, this kind of thing was priceless. The standard purity of a martial artist's attribute was 60 points. To be honest, Lin Xian did not know how many points he had, but it should be very high. After that, Lin Xian did not hesitate to spend 5 million to exchange for the attribute increasing potion. Then, he inserted it into his arm like an injection. The potion's energy was surging. Ding! Host's thunder attribute purity is 100. The attribute increasing potion has failed. Lin Xian. What? 100? It's full? Then I'll increase the space. The space's purity is 100. Lin Xian. Lin Xian suddenly realized that it was probably the effect of the rainbow sacred scale. This was incomparably good news. Then, should I give this attribute increasing potion as a gift for E? Lin Xian thought of this and then kept the attribute increasing potion. Other than these 3 items, the second shop had another item that was similar to the first shop's. Attribute increasing exchange can be exchanged for any attribute energy. Immediately after, the first attribute energy's release effect will be increased by 50%. Price 1 million scum points per use. Lin Xian. Damn. Is the second shop so abnormal? Lin Xian could not help but open his mouth wide. There might not be a lot of items, but to him, it was enough to shock him. The meaning of the attribute increasing exchange was very simple. Lin Xian's current space proficiency was 11%. If he spent 1 million scum points to exchange for it, and then used spatial compression and other spatial powers, it would increase by 50%, which was 61% proficiency release. Chapter 219. Invincible, Invincible, Invincible. Lin Xian was extremely excited. Although the scumbag system's missions were sometimes a little annoying, he had to admit that the items inside were all heaven-defying treasures. The only thing was that it was a scam. The attribute upgrade cost 1 million yuan each time, while the 4 attribute upgrades only cost 50,000 yuan in the first shop. However, Lin Xian knew how to be content. The second shop had definitely raised his abilities by another level. In the past 2 days, the spiritual equipment and the treasures in the shop had raised Lin Xian's level, but his abilities and combat strength had increased by another level. Then, Lin Xian walked out. Hee, brother Xian, how was it? After he walked out, he saw a group of people hiding in the staircase. What do you mean, how was it? Lin Xian looked at Wang Fugue. I saw Sister Fan Fan running out while covering her face. Brother Xian, you must have taken her down. Wang Fugue said with admiration. Cough cough, don't talk nonsense. After saying that, Lin Xian walked away. Lin Xian's matter at the Sky Martial Court was also successfully completed. Lin Xian admired himself for being able to conquer 2 girls in just 2 days. Previously, he had spent a lot of effort to conquer Ling Ying, and he had even used a special method. Now, Lin Xian could relax for the time being. The only one left was Miao Xiaomiao, but she was a little special. Although she was small, to be honest, she was much harder to fool than Lu Yufan. Lu Yufan bought 2 bottles of water and 2 packets of potato chips from the school's canteen. She saw Lin Xian walking over and handed half of the food to Lin Xian with a red face.
Here.
Lin Xian took it with a smile. Well, sometimes I don't have much time to accompany you. Please don't take it to heart. Lin Xian gave her a heads up. I know, young Master Lin is a busy man. Lu Yufan rolled her eyes cutely. Hee, it's good that you know. After saying that, Lin Xian wanted to hug Lu Yufan's waist, but she dodged. That. Lu Yufan hesitated for a moment and said, let's not announce our relationship to the public for the time being, especially to Yi. I don't want her to know for the time being.
Why?
Lin Xian asked curiously. However, he felt that this was a good thing. If he announced it to the public, others would definitely know about it. By then, Ling Ying and Wang Xintong would also know about it. Then, his good days would be over. Furthermore, it would be even more difficult to get the other girls. Because you already have a girlfriend. On the contrary, what Lu Yufan said was what Lin Xian thought. I just don't want to for the time being. Lu Yufan pouted and said, Okay. I'll listen to you. Lin Xian said with a smile. In truth, Lu Yufan's thoughts were very simple. She and Yi were good friends. She knew how Yi felt about Lin Xian. If Yi knew that Lu Yufan and Lin Xian were in a relationship, she would definitely be unhappy, right? It was also because Lu Yufan hadn't thought of how to explain this matter to Yi, so he could only let time give the answer. I'll go back first. Do you want to come to my house tonight so that we can go to Yi's place together? Or do you want me to look for you? Lin Xian asked. I'll look for you. It's on the way, Lu Yufan said charmingly. Okay. After that, Lin Xian left the Sky Martial Court. He did not take care of Lin Ye for the past 2 days. Then, he went to Lin Ye's company. Lin Ye was still working in her office. Little fairy. Lin Xian walked in with a grin. Lin Ye's first reaction was joy when she saw Lin Xian. However, her next reaction was Lin Xian here to bully and take advantage of her again? Lin Ye put down the pen in her hand and poured Lin Xian a glass of water. She asked, Aren't you busy recently? Lin Ye had not seen Lin Xian for the past few days. He did not even come home at night. Lin Ye thought Lin Xian had found a girlfriend and was sleeping outside with her at night. I'm busy. I'm so busy with all kinds of social events and things. Little fairy, why do you think I'm so handsome? I shouldn't be handsome at my age. Narcissist. Lin Ye rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Then, she gently adjusted his collar. You don't even look good when you're outside. How can you make girls like you? Lin Xian laughed. Then, he grabbed Lin Ye's wrist and looked at her with a grin. You're being naughty again. Lin Ye blushed and rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Little fairy, I want a kiss. Go, I want to work. No, if you don't give me a kiss, I won't let you work. Lin Xian said shamelessly. Lin Ye was helpless. In the past, it was always Lin Xian who took the initiative to kiss Lin Ye. Now, it was very satisfying to let Lin Ye kiss Lin Xian. Okay, I'll kiss you. Lin Ye was not as shy as before. She closed her eyes and slowly moved forward. Her long eyelashes trembled slightly, proving that her heart was not calm. Kiss. Lin Ye's red lips kissed gently and then let go. Lin Xian did not demand anything from her. This was good. I'm going to work. Then, Lin Ye walked to her seat in a panic. Little fairy, it's Yi's birthday party tonight. Let's go together. Lin Ye paused for a moment and then said, I remember now. Yi also told me that I was planning to go. That's good. Finish early and we'll go together. Lin Ye nodded slightly. Yi's birthday party started at 8 o'clock in the evening. Normally, they would arrive around 7 o'clock, so they could still make it. Lin Ye worked until 6 p.m. Then, she drove Lin Xian home to change his clothes. I forgot. What gift should I prepare? Linya suddenly thought of this. She was going to be Lin Xian's girlfriend in the future. As his older sister, she had to make sure she was on her best behavior. But, would it be too late to buy something good now? Lin Xian stretched out his hand and 2 potions appeared in his hand. One was a physique-changing potion, and the other was a mental cultivation potion. These were the 2 items in the first mall. The increase might not be much, but in the market, this was definitely something that no one had seen before. It could directly increase one's physique and mental strength like an injection. Even if it was just a little, it was still a priceless treasure. But, compared to the attribute-increasing potion that Lin Xian planned to give, it was indeed much weaker. But, it was definitely enough. This is a potion that can permanently increase a martial artist's physique and mental strength. Compared to so-called jewelry, diamonds are much more valuable. Linya did not know much, but since Lin Xian said so, she naturally believed him. Then let's buy 2 gift boxes and wrap them up. What are you giving? Lin Xian smiled and said, Of course it's something good. You don't have to worry. Lin Xian also wanted to give this attribute-increasing potion to Linya, but she was currently without any attributes. Originally, she had a rare ice attribute that had mutated from the water element, but it had disappeared 3 years ago. But if it could be restored, Lin Xian would definitely give it to her. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.